And welcome everybody to this week's Wednesday episode of War Commander Unshackled. This is the Smashings Galore and now the Gear Store, our March 14th, 2018 Gear Store update and downtime release notes. There's a whole plethora of stuff Kick Size dropped on us with this maintenance today. And we're going to enjoy talking about it with my panel today. And we're lucky enough to have Daba Phoenix for a moderator, Skip Jack hiding there in the background for a moderator, and our very own art director, soon to be publishing some new art for us coming up, David Dark Shadows. So just want to welcome all of you for joining us today. Get right to this. I see Erwin out there and Mike and Daba in the chat. He's going to be helping out too. So let me go over here to this tab so I can share some freaking screenage. So you're going to have to help me out, Daba. Do you am I up on YouTube yet? Since you're in there.
Yeah.
All right, good. Because at the moment,
just make sure
I haven't got it on my upper screen.
Like when you're reading stuff, just zoom in.
I will do. So we're going to start off the bat really quite easily for a little quick recap with our March event calendar. We'll get the stuff that's out of the way for right now until our next episode, which will be, I believe, on the 18th or 17th. Let's see real quick. 17th, which will be Saturday. So for March 14th, which was today, we got our server downtime and release day. The Gear Store update, which we'll discuss in a bit. On the world map, you have your Sentinel token bases today, up until, of course, 1 o'clock in the afternoon or in the evening, morning, whatever you want to call it, when it switches over for tomorrow. You got world map caretaker bonus token bases. For 48 hours, we're going to have the Omega War Rig bases. Tomorrow, you'll see the invasion begins, and we'll discuss that. And following that, on the 16th, you'll see the Shadow Ops Hidden in the Darkness Phase 2. And you're going to have your Survivor token bases and the Breacher bonus token bases. So that gets us up to speed until Saturday's episode, which is going to be cool. Above and beyond that, the more important topics for those who haven't had a chance to get into the forums, haven't noticed what's happened so far with the game. Some really cool things have actually occurred. We did get a downtime. When the downtime came up, I just want to touch on really quickly. They did some really cool bug fixes and changes to a lot of our stuff. Skipjack was very well aware to tell people certain things, and I'll have her chime in on that hopefully a little bit later. But we'll get down to the downtime and release notes for today. So 8/11 downtime and release notes. We've got commanders. The following changes and fixes have been applied to the Wednesday, March 14th update. Invasion. Full screen here. Zoom in because there's no sense in not being able to see. All right. Invasion went up to 20,000 medals as well as technical Cyclops or Chaplain tokens by defeating Vercraft invasion waves. This is going to start tomorrow. We'll touch on the full briefing in a moment. The Gear Store update. This was a big thing. They took a lot of stuff out of the Gear Store and they swapped some things around. March Gear Store features Blackout tech, Breachers tech, and more. We'll touch on that. Siege Squadron and platform buffs. This was a huge surprise for me, and I was very grateful for that. So I have to give Kixeye a big thumbs up. I know Champ and a lot of players, Slim Shady, I think, also talked about it, about changing over platforms and things, how it was 2 days on a lot of stuff. Now everything across the board, 5-second instant. Much respect for that change. Seed Squadron HP has been buffed. Standard is now 150 million. Elite is 177 million. And the Omega class will give you 200 million as a hit point buff. Levels 11 to 15 platforms have had their HP buffed as well. Platforms level 11 give you 1.8 million. Levels 12 gives you 2,025,000. Level 13 will give you 2,250,000. Level 14 will give you 2,475,000. And level 15 will give you 2.7 million. Floating platforms will give you at a level 11 platform 1,080,000. Level 12, 1,215,000. Level 13 will give you 1,350,000 now. Level 14 floating platforms bring in 1,500,000, and level 15 floating platforms will give you 1,725,000. Insulated platforms, a little passe. I mean, they're good for preventing shock and that kind of stuff, but whatever. Level 11, 1,440,000. Level 12, 1,620,000. Level 13, 1,800,000. Level 14, 1,980,000. Level 15, 2,160,000. Heavy platforms. This is more to liking of the upper levels. Level 11 heavy platforms will give you 3,600,000, which is definitely a markup. Level 12 gives you 4,050,000. Level 13 gives you 4,500,000, missing the apostrophes in there. Level 14 gives you 4,950,000. Level 15 gives you 5,400,000. Heavy floating platforms. This is your Overwatches and all, and your railguns. They got buffed up. So level 11 is now 2,160,000. Level 12, 2,430,000. Level 13, 2,700,000. Level 14, 2,970,000. And level 15 gives in a whopping 3,240,000. Heavy insulated platforms. Level 11, 2,880,000. Level 12, 3,240,000. Level 13, 3,600,000. Level 14, 3,960,000. And level 15, 4,320,000. Aren't you grateful you guys don't have to read all this shit?
Are you done yet?
Almost.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
And finally, the general fixes and improvements. We have all players can now accurately view your world map accolades. Swapping the armored platforms now only takes 5 seconds at a cost of 40 million metal and oil and 4 million thorium. So for 40 million res and 4 million Thor, we're no longer waiting that 2-day upgrade. So again, kudos to Kixeye. It's about damn time. So across the board, platform exchange is a instant res and Thor upgrade.
But your dozer's got to be free.
Yes, your dozer has to be free. That is. Wait, no. Is it?
Yes. Your dozer still has to be free when changing platform types.
Okay. Yes. Mounted doesn't.
Changing turret types is instant and free. Well, not free, but you know.
Thank you. Improve performance when clicking my position on the world Warpath leader map, but Warpath is over, so what the fuck's the difference? Repairing PvP platoons, base defenders, and raid platoons now charge the correct amount of gold. Thank you. 50% off.
You forgot this was all fixed on Friday.
Yeah,
last week.
I know, but it's in the release notes.
I know. If you read it, it says the following issues were fixed on Friday, March 20th.
Yes.
That's because Kixeye sometimes fixes stuff during the week and doesn't always wait till Wednesday to do an update.
Yep. And finally, the 50% off all gold spent on repairs between the 7th of March and the 9th of March was refunded to the affected players. So again, that was those who were getting overcharged on their gold repair purchases. That came out mid-event anyway. All right, so that takes care of that.
Just want to point out real quick, the world map accolades, the first thing that he read on that screen, that's from your PvP season, the ones that's got the gold, silver, and like the little glowy things on their base.
Mm-hmm.
People know what that is.
Yeah, that's your world map frames that go around your picture. The one person in all of War Commander that has that shining, swirling gold angel-y thing. That too. And excuse me, parched. And a couple other little itty-bitty things that are sprites and shit for us. I'm just going.
Cute.
Yes, they are cute. I wanted you specifically, Skipjack, to do the reminder about the 5 of 5 when it comes to PvP, if you wouldn't mind sharing.
Sure. You want me to put it down right in the middle?
If you'd like. Yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I don't have a problem at all. Just want to let everybody know. It's out there on forums if you would like to see it. I'm not on as many War Commander Facebook pages as I'd like. It was posted in the Discord, but you know the Discord runs, any of you that are on the Discord, that rolls like crazy. So it's kind of like being in a, regular Facebook chat or whatever. Some people don't want to scroll up. There is no longer going to be a hit of 5 of 5 every week to make your medal payout. So for those of you who are longtime players, you know exactly what I mean. You've got the 5 of 5 targets in your gear store, and it was like they were like bullseye targets. And I could pull up a picture real quick if you want to see it. But it was the bullseye targets, and then as you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so Kixeye is, they have bean counters, and they figured it out that for the most part you were hitting alliance mates or not dead bases, but alt bases or non-played bases or untagged bases. So it was no big secret. But the only reason why you were doing your 5 of 5 to keep your medal payout every Monday was just to do whatever bases you could do. Now, granted, people who are really into PvP, I'm not making fun of you guys, but for me, sometimes if I'm in farmer mode because I'm not going anywhere and I'm not actively in a war, yeah, I go hit untagged bases, get my 5 of 5, and be done with it. So you will no longer need to hit the 5 of 5 every week to make the medal payout. You will need to maintain your infamy at whatever level you are. So if you are a PvPer, you're going to have to get your infamy back up. So just that being said, since you don't need the 5 of 5, like for instance, right now I'm in the gold 3 division. I get a 90,000 medal payout. If you start going into a war, excuse me, I'm having venom is rubbing off on me. Ooh, in a sexy way. Not in a sexy way. If you're in a PvP war and you get your infamy knocked down, you're not just going to be able to go back to your home sector and hit 5 of 5 and get your 90,000 medals. Or 300,000 medals, or whatever it is that you get, or 100,000 medals, whatever the payouts are. Yes, I know I should be looking at it, but I'm not. So specifically from Wrong Thinker, this was posted yesterday in the afternoon. Somebody said they had asked the question, and it was something else that was in another thread. And occasionally, as Wrong Thinker does, he gets in the middle of those threads, and then he'll make a comment. So you may not have seen this. But it does say FBHO, and he posted in forums. I didn't ask his permission to use his name, but he did say, I didn't hit anyone this week, but it shows that I still got my 5 hits already in the gear store. Has the 5 hit rule been taken out, or is this just broken? And the answer from Wrong Thinker yesterday in the afternoon, late afternoon, my time, was this rule was removed. You no longer need to hit 5 targets. You just need to have enough infamy to qualify for a prize. Now, I've already got a couple people after I posted to some of the pages where, well, that's not fair, and they're just going to hand it over to you. No. Think about it. Right now, if somebody comes to hit me, right now, if I get 2 people that hit me, and I pop and I'm in the middle of a war, it'll drop me down to the high silver division. So, and there is no hitting 5 bases that are dead bases for 1 freaking infamy. That ends up being 125 untagged bases to get me back up to where I need to be. So Wrong Thinker wants everybody to know that they know that PvP needs a touch up, and they're going to be bringing more to that. But this became, and I will use his words. Hang on just a second. Can't show you, but I can read it to you. I don't think he would mind. He says, we may need to do more here, but as of right now, people didn't really do much anyway. As you point out, people figured out ways to get their 5 hits with little to no risk, which means little to no excitement or interest. We acknowledge that. Okay, this is Kixeye here. This is a prime example of the grind and he put quotes around it, at its worst, that players speak of often. I do think PvP absolutely needs more work, but I do think this was a step in the right direction as it removed something that wasn't difficult, but it became a chore. So that's right from Wrong Thinker. Now, I mean, does he have that out there in the notes? No, he kind of alluded to it in his Wrong Thinker Thinks, and there will be another Wrong Thinker Thinks coming out shortly. And hopefully we can get him on the show one of these days, coming up very soon. But again, they are addressing the grind issues. They're trying to find out, okay, what are some of these things that people are saying that are really a grind? We used to talk about medals being a grind. Well, now there's lots of different ways to get medals. We're going to get medals in Invasion coming up. I mean, we got medals for other prizes. Sometimes medals instead of Thor is your fallback prize when you're doing some of these bases. So they're introducing lots of different ways to get medals, and I like that. Instead of it just going out and doing the medal bases, which I don't mind going out and doing the medal bases if I have to, but it used to be that's the only way I could get more medals was to grind them. So again, if you're missing the 5 of 5 targets, there's a reason behind it. If you need something more about that, just as a reminder, you can always go to forums if you have access to forums. When you go to forums, you go on to pick the War Commander General Discussion. There's almost always something from Wrong Thinker in there somewhere, and if not, find his profile. When you click on his profile, just like you can do for yourself, click on his profile. It'll show how many posts he has and how many replies. The best source of information is to click on his replies, because his replies are answers right in the middle of sometimes a 2 or 3 or 4, and heck, that one post was 8 pages long. Some of the best information you can get from Wrong Thinker are found in his comments, his replies in the middle of a thread. So just go to Wrong Thinker's profile, pull it up, and go to his replies. And if you have something specific you want to find out about it, you heard that it was rumor, oh, Wrong Thinker posted, you don't see anything in forums, it's probably a comment that he posted. So I personally, I'll speak to it. I mean, we can go through the panel. I personally like it. I always thought that it was a pain in the butt, that in order for me to keep, what if I went on vacation? What if I was sick? You know, what if whatever happened and we were in the middle of an event, I completely forgot about it, and then something catastrophic happened and I wasn't here for 5 or 6 days. This way, as long as my infamy's up, I know I'm going to get a medal payout every Monday, and I'm cool with that. I'm pretty cool with that. So that's pretty much all I have to say about that, unless you guys had, thank you for posting that up, by the way.
Yeah, no, it was easy. No, that's exactly what I wanted to do. And I want to welcome Destry. Welcome to the show. I didn't see you earlier because I was in full screen, so appreciate you showing up.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, somebody said some wicked feedback.
Yeah, I see that. At any rate, so speaking of, since we just came off of this little round of this event we just got through, which was all about hitting players, does anybody have any feelings about this new change? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Obviously, Skipjack feels it's good. I'm inclined to agree about certain aspects of it. It somewhat, I feel, detracts from promoting people who otherwise wouldn't PvP to go out and hit, because they're not incentivized to have to hit 5 people a week. What are your opinions? You want to start in the end there? Work our way up?
Go, David, go.
Okay, well, I don't know where the hell I'm at because I'm always on the right-hand side. With that said, honestly, it's a good thing, because regardless of if you're in a battle, if you're in a war or not, I mean, you're going to get your 5 PvPs regardless, even if you have to go hit level 3 bases like Daba.
Hey, I'm at level 4 now. I graduated. I'm at level 4 bases now.
Okay, you're at level 4 bases now. But yeah, with that being said, that's fine and dandy. We're going to get our 5 PvPs regardless. But for the people, as Skip has pointed out, that something happens, and it does. And I mean, you're not going to get your 5 PvPs, thus you're not going to get your medal payout or anything like that. So it's a good idea. I like it. The only thing I don't like is what they did with. Bring that screenshot back up of the PvP, if you would.
What, the medals payouts?
Yes.
No problem. Yes, Scott. Don't hit the turn.
Don't
off
hit.
the
Yeah.
show.
Don't hit end broadcast. Don't hit it. All right. So,
The red, I guess it's the white button. Don't hit the white button.
No, see, this is what happens. I will move this up to the top of the screen so I don't have to worry about accidentally assuming it's down there.
Isn't he just the most adorable thing you've ever seen? He can move that thing anywhere he wants it, and that way he won't be rubbing the wrong button at the wrong time.
I never knew you
The
could
only
move
thing
There's never a wrong button to rub and never a wrong time to be rubbing it, sweetheart.
Oh, you know, I set that up just so he would say that. Oh my God. Showing. Go ahead, David.
With that being said, I don't like the way they did the global season leaderboard ranking, the payout on
Agreed.
That is where it has changed the whole factor of it. You know, you got into the gold tier 1, gold tier 2, gold tier 3, whatever. You should get that avatar or that base avatar.
Yeah,
Okay?
let's.
That is my point of view. You've worked that hard to get that much infamy. You should keep that. Not this. Okay, the top player. Yeah, granted. You know he's going to get his 9 Blood Thor, 300,000 medals. Now it's you got to be in the top 2 to 100 to get 6 Blood Thor and your 250,000. I don't like that. So
Yeah,
I mean,
this is where it gets
the avatars.
misconstrued.
Yeah, this is where they snuck it in on us. Was this? They didn't mention that this was changing.
So basically, what you're alluding to, for those that didn't realize the way that they've re-bracketed this system, it's not. It's not.
Ass again. Right.
Yeah, and hey, welcome. Yeah, in a long and short way, you're going to basically be fighting two separate system tiers. So you're fighting for your resource, your infamy leaderboard for your division, and then aside of that, a separate system is your global seasons leaderboard. So even though you may have gotten your 3,600 plus infamy and gotten your gold medal, gold 1 division and 200,000 medals, that does not equate to you getting a number 2 spot or whatever, getting your global ranking. So you could have 3,600 infamy and get paid out no Blood Thor at all and 10,000 medals. So I mean, you're fighting 2 separate parameters, and it does the way that they have it. I mean, they did separate it into 2 separate boxes, which is good. They weren't being overtly cagey about it, but people have to be aware. And that's the one good thing about this, no longer having to do the 5 of 5. You're going to be, like Skip said, just consistently receiving some sort of payout as long as you have more than no infamy. So actually, no, even if you have 0 to 99, so you don't have to have 1 infamy. Okay, so I didn't even realize that. So as long as you're an active player, you will get some payout. But our real fight, your real progress and focus should be over here on this right side for the end of the season to collect your Blood Thor and your accolades.
I like it. I understand why they did it. I mean, the restructuring. I like it. Our goddaughter just started playing, like, right in the middle of Warpath. So she's only been playing for technically 4 days. Well, she didn't really play today. She's been at the hospital all day, but working. But I like it. She was blown away because she participated in Warpath. Of course, she got an Iron Division, so they gave her a payout for that. Because all you have to do is have one or 2 hits. She had a ton. I mean, she was a level 3 when she was playing the the Warpath event. But then she also got a payout for her infamy. So she was just like a hammering full. And she got excited. I think she got, 1,100 infamy? 1,700 now? Something 14. Like that. Huh? 1,400. So yeah, that's not going to last long because she's leveling up. I say, welcome to Upgrade Commander. She's upset because her tunes now take 11 minutes to repair instead of instant.
just slap her in the back.
Exactly. You know, she's like, she's frustrated because she still hasn't been able to build her first Thor vault because she can't hold enough metal, yet. So she's upgrading her metal so she can have enough metal. So she has enough oil, but not enough metal so she can build her first Thor vault. I mean, it's that kind of thing, but I like it. I'm hoping that it's going to speak to some balance. It'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see people who take things like for automatic, like you were saying. I mean, a lot of people don't even realize that this has been rebalanced, so to speak. And Dava did bring up a good point, because there were a lot of people who were crying that there was no incentive to go above 3600 infamy. And that, that did come out from Wrong Thinker. So like, that's basically it. It was like there were so many people that were whining us like, well, what's the point? What's the incentive? And this kind of puts the incentive back in there. But again, these changes came out when the maintenance came out with the CC13. I don't think everybody even realizes yet that these changes have been made. Like the 505. When I made that post today to the Unshackled page and the I posted on City's page, I actually got some PMs and said, is that really for real? And I was like, yeah. Is that why my targets are gone? I thought maybe there was just something wrong with my game. And I was like, no, that's really for real. They're like, well, when did they change that? I don't think people realized it because that was all part of that maintenance when we had the CC13. Everybody was so focused on that. Gotta love Kixeye when they slip it in the back door. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Destry, what's your opinion on that? I have to come back to Champ and to Fa. Welcome to the panel. But I want to get your appeal.
I agree with what everybody else is saying. I mean, I like it. I like the fact that they did away with the 505 hits. But you guys have basically summed it up at this point.
Are you you're a constant hitter, right? Or you're not just sitting back and doing PvE. You're a active PvP.
I find all the 4s and 5s that David don't hit.
Hey, you can have the 5s. All the 4s are mine. You can have the 5s.
Now, I'm most generally on.
Okay. Well, Fa, what's your opinion on this? You're an active PvPer. When you can. Or did he step away for a second? He may have stepped away. Yep, he stepped away. All right, Champ. Welcome. Good to see you.
Thanks.
What's your opinion on this?
I'm neutral. One way or the other doesn't really bother me either way. I like the old one, and I get my medals anyway, no matter what. So I'm fine with it.
So regardless of the requirement to hit 5 a week, you're fine because you were going to hit that anyway, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I can agree with Skip. I mean, I can agree with a lot of players where they don't seem to see the incentive to have to go out and do it. I mean, that was my point, but at the same time, the ceiling's no longer there. So you're not just hitting the 5 and then quitting for the rest of the week. Now you have a real motivation, the way they've rebracketed things, to carry on hitting throughout the week to get more and more infamy. Yeah.
Hey, can I ask you guys something? How did you get the those leaderboard screens up side by side like that?
What do you mean? What I show? That's the way it comes up now.
Yeah.
It's not coming up that way for me. That's
well.
Weird.
If you if you go, what I do is I used the after I open up the PvP round, I just basically clicked on my current payout.
Let's see.
I click on. In my leaderboard, I click infamy, and then I click the I clicked like the number.
Here, I'll show you. I'll show you from here, guys. There's nothing for me to share, and I'm going to show you how I did it. All right, so clickety share again, so you guys don't end up seeing crappy windows. So I just use the Warpath because it's convenient.
Right.
It gives you the Warpath thing, and then I go up on my current payout total.
Oh, I see.
So now that's that one. Now to go to infamy, you go to the infamy because that's justifying everything, and you go to that payout total, and it gives up both. So under the infamy tab, it'll give you the global round and the global season because that's the way infamy is now working.
Okay, I see. That's pretty neat. I like that.
Warpath only has one column because there's no side There's no monthly infamy payout, or
Right.
round is all.
Okay. Cool. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
And of course, I've got the screen super zoomed for YouTube viewers.
I did want to add just one little other thing. Longtime players will know this. Well, actually, even some short-time players, but they wouldn't understand why. Another reason why I'm glad that the 505 is gone, and this is totally like non-game related, technologically related. Do you remember how many times we would have a maintenance and the fucking 505 would disappear? But then they would tell you that, oh, you still have your 505, but it just doesn't show up. And people didn't know whether or not to go back and do their 505 or not do their 505. And I'm talking about people who maybe aren't big, heavy PvPers. I mean, I'm not pointing the finger at Kixeye, but I can't tell you how many times it forums blow up, maintenance goes, and my 505 is gone. And it's just, it'll be one less thing that will go wrong. That's all I can say when we have a maintenance. It's just one graphic thing that was cool to look at, don't get me wrong, but it's one less, and it was great for the low levels for them to keep track. But really, I mean, those of you guys who are PvPing, and don't let Destry fool you, by the way. I'm going to tell tales on him. I love the joke that he said about Dama. But that goat, when he gets going, there ain't no stopping him. He'll smash and keep on smashing. I love the fact that they've gotten it back to a simpler part of just PvP. Instead of teaching people about doing 505, we're teaching people about hitting bases and earning infamy, which is, again, we didn't get to touch this much on it the last show, but is why I love Warpath so much. Is there is no penalty for hitting alliance mates and teaching each other about PvP. It's a perfect time to put your hunters in the corner somewhere and teach someone about where to bring his air in, where to bring his ground in. It's a perfect time for you to take your railguns and stick them over in a corner and, I don't know, blow some of their air out of the sky with your hunters. It's a great time to earn infamy, get some medals out of it in the end, earn infamy, and teach people about PvP and get together as a group in a round robin. I like that the 505 isn't, when they talk about a grind, I honestly thought the 505 was kind of like a lazy way. I mean, yeah, for you guys that are PvPing and you're in wars all the time, you get your 505 whatever sector you jump to. I mean, geez, I think Scooby got, 15 of 5 in like an hour today when he decided to jump out to 2 sectors. So I don't mind that it's gone for the technology purposes, but also it strips PvP down a little bit, and then people don't become lazy or complacent. The low levels and the mid levels will have to get their infamy up by real PvPing. If they want to hit the untagged bases and do them one at a time, good. That'll teach them how to hit bases, even if those players don't play anymore. Good. It'll teach them. They're undefended. They're still decent bases. Jesus H, I hit Shadow Killer's base during Warpath, and I thought he was going to eat my Herald for dinner. So, I mean, it's good for them. But this is a way to teach them to PvP to earn that infamy, not just, let me go out and hit 5 easy bases, and then I'm going to get my payout. I really want people to get back into teaching each other about PvP. I mean, that's the core of this game from its beginnings. I mean, to me, anyway. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that one.
No, I agree.
Well, with these units we have now, PvPs, especially with the base upgrades, I don't expect everybody to upgrade their bases just for that. But with the new units we have, these faction units, they're easy to. If you damage them, it's easy to build them because they're Thor only. As long as you earn them from the event or the gear store. If you build up enough thorium, you can scrap and rebuild if you want to do that. But that's a grind. But that's another advantage with these faction units. So it makes PvP a lot easier.
Definitely does. All right. Anything else? Anybody have any other opinions while we're at it? We'll jump on to the invasion.
With the PvP, now that they pulled the things, Because players are always saying PvP's dead and that kind of thing, and PvP is what you make of it. So go to jump into a sector, ignore politics, and just hit bases for fun. There's bases on the map in any sector you go to. Just hit them, just for fun. You can practice. If you blow your stuff up, don't do that the next time you go at that base, and it's just repair time. And then you wait for the repairs, go read a book, watch a movie or whatever, come back, try again. Because you can always jump to some other sector and hit away. So now that they've got rid of the 5 things, it's now on the players to make PvP like what they want.
Yeah, you can.
So if you want to have fun, just go do it. Like in the words of Nike, just do it.
Here comes a diet shadow killer shitstorm. Yes, you can jump in PvP all you want, provided you're not currently upgrading your CC.
Yep.
Because they haven't removed the mechanic about resetting your jump timer.
Well, you can't jump.
Jumping is free. Even though jumping is free, it promotes you to have to reset that clock before you jump into the next sector. And because that clock reset is mandatory, I got locked at the starting cusp of Warpath and had to coin to complete my CC so that I could enter that menu and click restart timer for free. They need to get rid of that mechanism.
The jump timer? There was a jump timer? I never noticed it.
Well, it's
well, you coined your CC.
Yeah, well,
it's not even that. Even now, okay, I don't give a shit. So
I did Friday, but I still jump. I was still able to jump using my attack log before
you go to relocate, and you can reset the timer on relocation for your base for free because of this bullshit pop-up. Because the reset is free, you're not charged. But if I jump out, which I did at the beginning of Warpath, my CC was upgrading. I used attack log. I used leaderboard at the time. I used leaderboard to jump out. Once I was in that sector, I did my hits. Boom, 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 boom. I got about 3,000 in honors. I went to leave. I couldn't leave. I couldn't leave because when you use the leaderboard, it won't get you this pop-up so that I can reset the timer and then relocate to said sector. So they fucked me for over 400 some odd gold in order to instant my CC13 so that I could get to that menu. Now, mind you, I respect the reason why it's there. I understand it's to prevent, well, I don't understand why it's still there. To be bluntly honest, I don't understand why that's still there. It should be gone. That mechanic should be removed. It should simply, you go in, you hit relocate, you choose the sector, you click relocate, and it should either say, whether you're able to, or if obviously sector 1 full, you can't go.
I can check with the team, but your command centers, excuse me, your command center, graphically, it may look simple, but graphically, your command center, all the inner workings of it, when you're not doing anything to the command center, it may seem like it's just a graphic thing. It's something you use to jump. But when you're actually upgrading it, that there's a purpose behind that, and there's a purpose behind the days, and it's not just about gold. But
no.
No, hang on. It's not about making you coin it because you didn't have to, but there are things that are tied to that command center. So while it's upgrading, if you jump using the command center, I believe that's why that's there. Is if you jump using the command center, you could end up with a ghost base, or worse, you could end up foobarring your account. Because I know other people that have jumped when they were upgrading their CCs during different upgrades. Actually, CC 10 is one that comes to mind. Because it was a really big issue in forums. People were using the leaderboards to jump out of their attack logs, and they had their CC upgrading, and some of them ended up with ghost base. And that's one of the things they tracked it down to, was because their CC was upgrading. They were random jumping using their attack logs, but you're right. It was hard for them to get back home. So what they suggested is hit somebody, from whatever sector you want to get back to from home.
Mhm.
And then make sure that that person is in your attack logs or whoever's in their leaderboard. That way, while your CC's upgrading, you can then jump back home to wherever you want to be.
But you understand, I did all that. It would not let me go anywhere.
But I mean, you
It
couldn't,
kept giving me the same
go back into
pop-up.
the leaderboard, or you couldn't go back into your attack logs and jump.
I couldn't use attack log. I couldn't use the Warpath leaderboard. I could not jump because it kept saying that the same pop-up that Anton got.
The one where it says, do you want to reset this for you can only jump once a week.
You can only jump once a week.
You got you can only jump once a week. I didn't know you got the same pop-up. Okay, that's different.
The pop-up that kept running. And that's what told me that menu right there, the reset timer, was what was triggering that pop-up, which cost me the ability to jump freely. So
Okay.
I'm not saying I had to coin, but if I hadn't,
you still couldn't even use, like Anton, you still couldn't even use the leaderboard or your attack logs to jump. And you kept getting that old pop-up that said
you can only jump once.
Oh, okay. See, I thought Anton was the only one that got that one. I didn't.
No, I told Anton this too. He and I, we both were in the same. The reason I got trapped in that sector was I jumped with Anton to have a little fun. I played with Anton that night, and then trying to leave, I couldn't leave.
Right. Well, I'm glad you said that, because that it wasn't just Anton, and I'm not blaming it on Anton's computer or where he is or his connection. I thought maybe somehow something happened with the desync. What I was worried about was that Anton was going to lose his progress on his command center because he jumped using the leaderboards. That has happened before as well, where someone's jumped using the leaderboard or their attack log, and they don't realize it because they're so busy going to hit something, and they go into their base and they're like, fuck, why isn't my CC upgrading anymore? And they lose any forward progress. So, I mean, it's 11 days, right? This one was 11, right? Excuse me. So 6 or 7 days into it, you start, maybe PvPing in another sector, and we had some people that would lose their forward progress. Oh, God, the shit that's in my head from being a fucking moderator from years ago. Anyway, we had people who lost their forward progress on their command centers because instead of, it used to be if you're upgrading your command center, you're stuck. You got to sit. Whatever it is, you're stuck and you can't go anywhere. But I do remember Wrong Thinker saying, I believe it was the last Warpath or the second part of that first one we had that was in 2 parts. I do think, I'm going to make a liar out of myself. I had to scroll through so many of his replies.
No, it's okay.
I think he said,
I could have canceled.
I could use the leaderboard to jump out, but you were stuck. So you couldn't even use the leaderboard or your attack logs. All right.
No, I had two options.
Yeah.
Coin it to the completion, which I did, so that I could get to that function and get rid of it.
Did you send a ticket at least?
What's the point?
Oh my gosh, to get some of your coin back. Something.
I sent a ticket and I got minimal response. I mean, I appreciate it, but
like SOL?
Yeah. So I did voice my concerns and explain the issue and yada yada. But so that being said, but I had 2 options. Either coin it, which is what I did, so that I could get to that functionality and click that off and move on. Or I could have canceled the upgrade, and then I would have been out, between 24 and 48 hours of upgrade time that I had already started. And then, because the first day I gained just metal and oil, built that up. So I didn't even do Warpath really, just so that I could, be able to upgrade the CC with res. And then, all shit happens. But anyway, so I wasn't going to lose out on the time that I already put in, because then that 11 days would have been a 13-day or 12-day build or upgrade. So I just, I bit the bullet. But as with everything, when I am slighted in the slightest, I just retract my wallet for a while. So. All right.
What was the next topic of discussion?
Invasion, our big event tomorrow.
Can I take you guys somewhere else just real quick?
What a fucking joke.
Sure. You can.
Just like the Gear Store update. What a fucking joke.
Welcome, Pa. Glad to see you returned.
Welcome, Paul. Hey, Paul. So I made a post on Unshackled page the other day. It was about the workshop, and I got a max workshop. So what it offers is replication, and in that replication, it has heroes. And I just don't understand the point of it. Why I have heroes in the replication?
Okay, well,
I did get an answer from Ron Tucker on that, but go ahead.
Well, my take on it.
Hero tech would be fine.
Well, my take on it is because there are tech that are across the board can be used on the standard units as well as the hero units. The replication shows them. For example, with
it shows the bronze, silver, and gold faction Gen 1 tech. So yeah, I understand that, but you can also equip that just from your regular purifiers, your furies, your hammers. It just seems kind of redundant to have heroes in there.
Well, redundancy is something that kicks eyes, kind of.
Let me shed some light on that on my theory. Okay. Now the heroes are classified, of course. We'll use Adra as an example. It's classified as a purifier. Now, they may have had the code written to where if it is classified as this unit, it will show up in your workshop as a Gen 1 unit because technically Adra is a Gen 1 unit and a purifier at the same time, regardless of it being a hero. So the way the code is written, Adra will show up in there because it is classification of a purifier. Now, can you replicate her hero tech?
Not as yet.
Okay, then. So that's probably what happened.
There would be no point in that because you need the actual tech to replicate it, and the hero can only hold one tech.
That's what I'm saying, though. What I'm saying is the code was probably written that if it is labeled as a Faction 1 unit, which is what Adra is, and thus Purifier, show up in the workshop for replication of tech.
Well, I have a slight.
Now, is that right? Yeah.
I have a slight caveat to that.
It'll probably.
I have a slight caveat to that, and this is currently, as far as I know, only one instance where this would apply. That was a cool sound effect.
I'm so sorry.
It's so cool. No, but speaking specifically to hero units, look at our Cyclone. You have the Zombifier for the heroes, the Zombifier tech. What if at some point in the future, or foreseeing that it could possibly occur in the future, you had one of the hero zombie tech and you wanted to duplicate that so that you could put it on your Jericho or on whatever other unit you could place that tech on. So for that instance, that could be what they're planning for the future if they did come out with that, or to let low rate players that might collect one of those in the future through something, a package or a base or something in the future, be able to multiply that unit tech once or twice over so that they can put it on 2 units instead of just 1.
A question. With the Zombifier tech, wasn't the actual tech hero specific? So you had to buy one for, Roland, we had to buy one for Ardra.
Yes, it was.
Was it? Okay.
Yes, it was.
You wouldn't be able to. I don't think you'd be able to replicate it.
The only one that was not unit specific was for the air that you could equip on Pandora and.
Hold on. I got one. I'm looking at my one for Ardra, and it says grants your ground-based heroes the Zombifier effect. So,
when those came out, it was unit specific except for the air one, which was for Pandora and what's the other one? Damn it! Shit.
I'm not going to help you.
Dina?
You're not supposed to help him.
There you go. That was the only one that you could buy like 2 of, So that one wasn't unit specific.
Okay.
Fortunately.
Well, that was my only questionable. Like maybe that was why they left it open like that for something like that in the future. But I don't know. But you're right. It doesn't make sense.
Like I said, it's just speculation that the code was written that if it's a Gen 1 faction unit,
interesting,
it's one that it shows up in the workshop. So they'll probably end up fixing it or taking it out. We'll wait for the official answer from Skipjack.
Oh, I know what it is.
I looked at my my Roland and my Ardra tech, and it's now the same like name on the tech. Because before it said like this one's for Roland, this one's for Ardra, but now it's like the same name. It's like HFT1 or something like that.
Yeah.
HFT1 Zombifier. That's the name of the tech, and it fits both on Ardra and Roland. So yeah, it might if it was replicatable, maybe
Replicable.
replicatable. That's double.
Yeah. Champ, since you've got maxed replication, can you check? Hunter has a question out there. Can you replicate Legacy Gold Tech?
No. It's only faction Gold Tech.
Yeah, well, it has the original stuff that was in there, plus all the new faction.
So the answer would be no.
Faction Gen 1, so no.
Yeah, only Gen 1s.
Ye olde stuff is only
and Hunter Draken is Gen 2.
Yeah, so the way your upgrades are going to work is level 13 will upgrade. That'll unlock the bronze. Level 14 workshop will unlock the silver faction, and 15 will unlock the gold faction for or gold faction techs. Yep. So that's how that works.
And what are the times on the bronze, silver, and gold?
I had that last week. Actually, I have an Excel sheet for that.
Hold on.
I just wanted to make sure.
Replication. I think it's 2 days. It might be even less than that. Oh, my workshop is busy right now.
Okay. I thought it was 16 hours. I could be wrong. Excuse me. I have the post. I just have to pull it up.
Okay.
I'm doing the same thing Bob is doing. I'm pulling up the post.
It's no biggie. I just wanted to verify.
I was pulling up my Excel sheet, but I didn't.
Hang on,
all right. Let's get on with the invasion.
Yeah, let's talk about invasion. The thing about the answer I got back from Wrong Thinker, and this may sound, let me just throw this out there really quick because I asked him straight out, and I didn't get this answer until later. So his answer is that they show up, excuse me, not for their heroic components, but because they have access to the components of the units they're based on. And he said, for instance, someone may win or get or buy Ardra. They don't even know what a purifier is. So, and trust me, I've had a lot of people say to me, how can a level such and such with a 34 million ID have Ardra already? Okay, so if they earn enough, hey, we had a guy who was a level 29, ended up being level 31 in our sector. That was the top of the sector. Jim was second. This guy was cranking it. So that guy got a huge Blood Thor payout. Not only was he buying heroes, he was buying the tokens to upgrade those heroes. So the reasoning behind it is that so players who don't know that the Purifier and the Ardra are aligned together, the Ardra is there so that you can click on Ardra, and then the components that you replicate are the same components that you can replicate for the Purifiers. There's a lot of new players that don't know that. So it's not like you're going to be able to replicate hero components, because obviously there's things that are just unique to like some of the things we have for Jericho and some of the other ones. But those components, so if you click on Ardra, let's just say they don't own Purifiers, but they won Ardra in the Warpath event. Now they can, if they were to have their tech center that high, which they wouldn't, but let's just say they did, and they were mega corners or whatever, or somebody gifting them corner or something. Now when they click on replicate, and they're like, oh, I want to do this. What can I put on my Ardra? It's there, but it's the same thing that you would see for the Purifier. All of us here on this panel, we all know that that tech is the same. But they put the heroes there for a reason, because believe it or not, yeah, there's a lot of low levels that did really well in Warpath, and they're spending their Blood Thor on heroes. But they've never earned a Purifier before. They don't know about the tech. So when they go in there, they can see what they can replicate. It's the same thing you can replicate on a Purifier. I mean, we could pick anything. I mean, besides, I'm trying to think of Dina's Shredder gun would not be in there for a Cyclone, but all the other tech would be there to replicate for any of the Cyclones. I mean, does that am I making a little bit of sense? I'm trying to go old school. I'm trying to think of a different hero.
Or Sunder.
Yeah, Sunder, exactly. I mean, there's some things that are specific just for that hero. So yeah, that tech wouldn't be in there. But there's other things that go across the units, and these low-level players are getting some hero units that they don't even know what the units that they buff are. So I think it was probably a matter of, I mean, this is speculation on my part. Kixeye said, do we put them in there or we don't put them in there? They go into the replication, they go, oh man, I can't replicate anything for my heroes. I know it makes sense in your head. Why would you put a hero in there? Because you can only have one. But there are people who have one right now that don't even know that those techs exist. And maybe they won them through an event and they don't even know that the techs are in their workshop. So it's just a way there to prompt them to say, oh, I have this unit. What can I put on it?
Not only that, if they have the Ardra, for example, but no purifiers, but they have one of the tech for, say, an armor.
Right.
So they can replicate that armor in the hopes that in the event they'll buy a purifier and then they'll have that armor. So
exactly. Right. So it's, and then they're going to get the same message that if it was, let's just say it was Dina Shredder tech, which is just the Shredder gun, is only for Dina. You can't put that on the regular Cyclones. So if they go in and they click that button, it will say, something like this is a hero tech or it must be run from the gear store or an event. So, or one of Jericho's, what's his,
Rapid fire.
Yes, rapid fire. Thank you very much, because I always get it wrong. I say the wrong thing and then people get pissed off. Thank you. It'll be the same thing. The message will come and say, well, you must win this in a gear store or an event or so on and so forth. So there'll be those messages that'll come up. But I think it's a good thing for the players who are new. That's my take on it. So, okay, so let's move on to Invasion, because I understand there's a lot of people that aren't happy that the Invasion is going to happen tomorrow. Another way we're going to earn more medals. So I'm excited.
All right. So I'll read through this real quick because there ain't too much to it anyway. So it says, Commanders, we've received reports of the Vercraft invasion incoming to our sector, overcome waves, thorium metals, components, and Reacher tokens. Yay, Reacher. Components for units including those for Technical, Cyclops, and Chaplain. So that's cool. And the following wave prizes. Wave 1, rewards 2 technical components, bronze class, and 1,000 medals. Wave 2, 2 Cyclops components, bronze class, and 1,200 medals. Wave 3, 2 Chaplain components, bronze class, 1,400 medals. Wave 4, 2 technical components, bronze, with 1,600 medals. Wave 5, 2 Cyclops components, bronze, 1,800 medals. Wave 6, 2 Chaplain components, bronze, 2,000 medals. Wave 7, 2 technical components, silver class, 4,000 medals. Wave 8, 2 Cyclops components, silver class, 7,000 medals. Wave 9, 2 Chaplain components in the silver class, 12,000 medals. And Wave 10, 2 Cyclops components in the gold class with 20,000 medals.
I just want to point out
so that the medals payouts are only for perfect run-throughs. So if you have to stop, reset, or lose, you will not get your medals bonus. You'll only get the components. Go ahead. What were you going to say, Daba?
You just said it.
Yay. Mama didn't raise no fool. All right.
I implanted the thought into your mind, and then you just said it.
Yeah, through osmosis. Yeah. Your leaderboard prizes, ranking. The top rate player to the 100th rate player will receive 7 technical Cyclops and Chaplain tokens. Now that's not 7 of each, correct, Daba? That's 7 of a menagerie of those. You might get like 3 technical, 2 Cyclops, and the rest of Chaplain.
It seems like it would be 7 of each, like how I'm reading that. Like 7 technical Cyclops and Chaplains. I mean, I can.
Okay, that's cool.
I ask for clarification.
Yeah, because normally we get 21 tokens. 21 tokens for the top.
Well, so there you go. Then that's what it is. So you got 7 Cyclops and 7 Chaplain. All right, good. So,
I wish I could which one of those I wanted, because I'd like all 21 to be my technicals, and then I could get a mix, probably.
Well, the 101st through the 300th ranked player will receive 5 technical tokens, 5 Cyclops tokens, and 5 Chaplain tokens. The 301st through 600th player ranking will receive 3 technical, 3 Cyclops, and 3 Chaplain tokens. 601 to 1000, 2 technical, 2 Cyclops, and 2 Chaplain tokens. And those who rank from the bottom of the list of participants to the 1001st play status will get 1 technical, 1 Cyclops, and 1 Chaplain token.
That's
in
cool.
order to get that last prize, you gotta, I believe you gotta actually beat the invasion, or at least
Yes, you have to do all 10 waves, I would believe.
at some point in time. It doesn't really matter. You can have,
Doesn't matter if it takes you all 3 days or whatever.
Yep. As long as you complete it once, then you'll get that. The bottom prize there.
All righty. Now, I tell you right now, I am not going to be in that top 100 because I do not blow through these.
I, for one, will not be doing invasion. I don't need technical tokens. I don't need medals. I don't need Cyclops tokens, and I definitely don't need fucking Chaplain tokens. So I, for one, will not be participating.
Must be nice.
Good, you can open Thor for me, fucker.
I got 1 million medals, and there's not shit to buy in the gear store even after the update.
I pissed medals away just so that if I get my 90,000 for the week, I have room, so it didn't just get disappeared. And
it's electric. It's electric. It's electric.
Oh, you know exactly what I bought. It's electric. It's electric. It's electric.
It's electric. Yep. It's electric. It's electric. It's electric.
I got 12 of them bad boys.
That's what I did too.
Yep. Because the boss bases were paying out good medals, and then I had Warpath, and then I had my weekly, and then I had the PvP medal payout all at once, and so I'm like, so I bought a crap ton of Spartan tech, and like, because I grind events and stuff, so I get all that stuff through events and PvE bases on the map. So I generally don't buy that stuff with medals, but it's good for the medium and lowers that they're giving out a lot of medals, a lot of different ways to get medals, so this way they can get tech and units and whatnot.
And I'll be doing it because I need those freaking tokens for my technicals. Everybody kept saying, "Oh, what level are your technicals?" You know, like they're 3, 4, 5. I mean, this was a while back ago. Now they're like 10, and I use them, and I'm getting so used to using them at 10. And I watch other people use them. I'm like, why the fuck don't I do that? And especially on the 105 bases. Oh my god, I see these people making videos, and they run their phalanx in, and then they bring their technicals in behind it to lure that tank out. Mine melt like freaking tissue paper. I mean, it's like, it's unbelievable. It's crazy. I'm like, I need some technical tokens.
Is that the boss base?
Yeah, the boss base, the 105 with the
Darkstorm.
Yeah, the Darkstorm. I keep wanting to say Nightmare. I have no idea why, because it looks like a Nightmare when you look at the picture. Yeah, the Darkstorm, because I've been getting the elite parts. It worked really great the first time. Then they added that splash this time around, fuckers. Yes, I'm going to say Kickside. They added that splash right towards the end that just blows your stuff away. You can't use ERMs anymore. My Drakens aren't level 20. Tried Scooby's technique. Same thing. It was like a fart in the wind. They were gone in a second. It was very frustrating. Learning. Hey, S-Key's in the house.
What's up, guys?
Shadow Killer had a question out on the YouTube land that he wanted to pose to the panel. So
yes,
that was my question. Why is my question? It is. I mean, I'm a player who I don't play. You know, I'm doing my command center upgrade. I noticed it's an 11-day upgrade. Why are they doing? And you know, I hope Kickside will answer this. Why are they doing such an invasion when you have such a long upgrade for your command center? And another question, and this is for you guys on the panel, and out there, is invasion worth it anymore? Is it as fun as it was when it first came out?
No.
It depends on, you know, I got some low to mid-level I'd say mid-level players that love invasion because it's another chance for them to get medals, and they have to ask for help with the technical bases. Like
for lowers,
for instance,
it's not bad.
Huh?
I said for lowers, it's not bad, but
yeah,
for hires, I mean, I've gotten boned like twice now on my time. And I'm always in the top. I used to be when Invasion first came out, I was always in the top 10, top 5 usually. Then I started getting tired of it. I was always in the top 100, and I got boned one time, and that burnt me.
I stopped.
Go ahead, Jim.
I stopped liking it once they stopped giving out a trophy.
My biggest fear going into this is the lag issues that we've had in the recent month. What is this going to do with your loading screens, loading into the Invasion? Obviously the clock timer doesn't start until you started the thing, but that 60 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever amount of time you have between it rendering and you being able to control your units is always going to be a fear.
I seen a Kickstarter thread about that by one of the tech guys explaining. Have they begin working on that?
Yes, they have.
Okay, that's good.
Yes, they have. I also want to bring up though is, again, this is just speculation, but we did get some fucking cool ass buffs to our turrets, and so Scooby, being the man that he is, jumped and followed people that hit him during Warpath and actually threatened some of the sectors that we were in while we were in Warpath.
Just want to show this to you guys real quick.
Hoping that they.
Does anybody have this anymore?
I already posted on War Commander Unshackled my desire, but hey, I can't twist arms.
I think there's a few people that still have it. I think Fear the Peel still has one.
I tell you what, I used one a while back, and I had a lot of people pissed off.
I'm sorry, Skip. I just had to rub that in real quick.
Yeah.
By the way, Shadow, the general consensus
and your login password is
very funny.
Go.
You got Trippy, you've got Hunter out there, you've got Makai. Everybody pretty much general consensus is it's no longer as fun, no longer fun. And as far as running the CC upgrade and then pounding us with this invasion, where your CC turret might no longer function properly or do all this stuff was money grab. That's it.
I don't see it that way. I think you guys are missing a really big point.
All right,
hold on, please. Let me just say something.
Right.
I'm not kissing Kick Size ass, but I think you guys are missing a really big point here, a huge one. A really, really big one. Just a minute. Let me pull up the notes, please.
All right, you do that, and I got one thing to say. I don't think it's a money grab because let's be honest, guys. How many people are really going to pay that much money to finish your upgrade? I mean, nowadays, I'm talking to the average player. I'm not talking to Scooby and Alani and all that. I'm talking about the average player. It's not really a money grab if you really think about it. Only a handful of people are really going to waste the money to upgrade this. They're going to save it for repairs. They're going to save it for other stuff. They're not going to, drop 522 gold to upgrade that.
If you started that, okay, and you left it go for just a night, I noticed when I was doing mine, the gold amount dropped rather quickly.
Yeah, see, I mean, it's not really about the money anymore.
But what they should have done, was CC came out last Wednesday.
They should have waited another week for Command Center.
And Invasion starts tomorrow, which that's 8 days. It should have waited till Saturday at least to do Invasion.
At least a couple more days.
I'll say this. I've seen the coin costs for some of the tunes, such as technicals and heavy tunes in your PvP. The cost has gone down so much to repair these tunes that it's not really. I mean, it's still pretty steep for some people to go out and coin. I don't coin no more, but it's still. But these coin costs, I've seen a tune of Phalanx cost 19 gold.
Well, here's something else. Here's something else for you guys. All right, I have 4 days, 39 minutes left. To coin it right now is 194 gold. The average player, will go probably coin that. It's the gold cost drops dramatically. And if you think about it this way, they did plan it just right. Your CC upgrade will be done by the event.
With the with the Max Tech Center, okay, I can go out and I can attack a player's base. I can lose my Siege Squadron. I can lose my Omega Phantom. I can lose my O Herald, and I think it's 3 Valiants. Total cost of repair is 9 gold.
Yeah, see, that's not bad. I mean, I got to give Kickside props. They have reduced a lot of the gold. It's not about the money anymore. I mean, they make a lot off of. I mean, and I've noticed this. I've talked to a few people who still play that aren't, serious corners, and they're happy with the coin cost nowadays. It's not as bad. I mean, yeah, if you have like 17 different things to upgrade plus you're fighting, then yeah, that can get costly. But if you're only doing one small thing, it's not bad. People aren't, flipping out about the money anymore.
Well, I gotta put one thing to the side for the naysayers that say that Kicksai is no longer in the profitability of the game market. They had Arnie Army as the fucking voiceover for their commercial promo for the other Kicksai war game, the other War Commander. So, hearing his voice of Full Metal Jacket fame in a commercial means they're at least shelling out the money to have him do a voiceover from his house to market. So they're spending money, which means they're making money.
That's
it. He plays the game. He plays the game. I mean, how is that a money grab? I'm sorry. I need to say what I need to say.
Yes, go ahead, Skip.
And then I'm leaving. And then I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Okay, but I need no. Please, let me say what I need to say. Everybody is missing a really big thing here that just came out today. Hello. One of the reasons why they're going to do Invasion is because your platforms just got a fucking buff. Okay? So your platforms are going to perform better than they've ever fucking performed before. So what better than to have an Invasion for you to see how strong your base is?
Thank you.
I'm just I'm totally blown away by the fact that anybody even read the release notes of the buffs. It's so big that Troy's got half the wiki down because I can't even show you a before and after, but I wish I had taken a picture ahead of time because they're not there now. Our platforms have a huge amount of buffs of health to them. This is the best way for you to find your strengths and weaknesses in your base and to decide what platforms you should and shouldn't have so that you can defend against kick size units. So then that way when an invader comes in to hit you, you might want to change one of your platforms. I mean, Jesus, the heavy fucking insulated platforms are 4,320,000 health when they're maxed.
Not counting they took 2 days off the armored upgrades. The armored platforms are 5 seconds now.
Yeah, they used to be 2.5 days, and now they're 5 seconds. You guys are just like, I'm sorry. I get passionate about this shit. But
no, you're doing great. You are doing great.
Right there in the release notes, this is a huge benefit to the game, and I'm telling you ahead because Wrong Thinker's been talking about it. People have been bitching about the fact that they're bringing so much for the defense of your base. I'm telling you, when that Night fucking Shade or Night Storm or what the fuck that thing is called,
Dark Storm.
When that damn tank comes out, I swear to God, it's going to be a game changer, and it's going to blow the shit out of your base. You better be ready for some strong defenses.
That's it. I mean, I'm sorry, for people out there. Like I said, I haven't been on. I haven't, I get on to upgrade one thing, and that's it. The longest thing to upgrade, and I log off the game. But from what I've heard and seen by a lot of people that still play, that Kickstarter's really stepped up to a lot of things. And, it's a game, guys, that's been around a really long fucking time. And for them to keep trying to make it better, yeah, we've given some hell. We have really latched on their ass more than a few times. But you got to give them props when props are due. Maybe the game isn't working 100%, but it'll never work 100%. Never, never, never. Okay, but they're trying, and as long as they're trying, you guys should be happy.
I hope to get Wrong Thinker on the show within the next week or two. We'll see.
Can I be on too?
Sure, you can. I think there's going to be some new stuff coming out. I did want to speak just a little bit to the gear store because I saw some of the people in the Wrong Thinker in the YouTube chat talking about the gear store because it was disappointing. It was disappointing, and I think Wrong Thinker will probably address that. If he doesn't address it this evening, it might be tomorrow, or maybe Bernie might. It's because of this big release, the defenses buffs and the shit that came out just now today, and of course loading the invasion. But the CC, everybody's busy. If they haven't already coined their CC, which I did, if they haven't already coined their CC, they're trying to get their tech center up to max, so you get 75% repair reduction on your PvP tunes. That's fucking awesome. I'm going for the go-go bar first. I thought I was going to spread it around a little bit, and like one building at a time. I'm going balls to the wall. I'm going for my go-go bar. Going to max that out first. Well, because why not go balls to the wall if you're in your go-go bar?
I disagree on the gear store. It's got blackout tech in there, and I want it. I want it.
Exactly.
That's
Now,
my next topic.
the next gear store that's coming
never
out.
mind. I own it all. Never mind.
Oh, the next gear store update is going to be even bigger. I think them putting the CC on us with all that stuff, this release notes with and again, this is instant. They're just giving this to us. They're not changing where you have to upgrade. They didn't add levels there were some people that were asking to add levels to the heavy turrets. They didn't add levels that we would have to upgrade something else. They just gave every single platform a buff. They could have added levels and they didn't. And I'm glad. I can't remember who the player was that did that poll. And I wish I could remember because I would give him props, but he did. Someone brought it up. So he put up a poll. This was a couple months ago. And oh my gosh, it must have been at least 80% of people said, no, we don't want any more levels to our platforms. It's already too hard. Why can't they just increase the health of them across the board? Well, Jesus H, we just got that today. I mean, that's awesome. It's freaking awesome. I did talk to Bernie, and Bernie said that next gear store update will be more significant. So it'll be more exciting, so to speak. So for those of you who feel kind of like, there's nothing in the gear store I want to get, I don't know what to spend my medals on, sorry. Next one, you will know what to spend your medals on because there's going to be a ton of shit in there. All right, so that's all I have to say about that.
Can I get your guys' opinion on something about these armored platforms? So the difference in armor platform fully upgraded is 3,075,000 health, minus the armor on a reinforced platform, which also suppresses explosive blast blocking splash damage, which is pretty dang good, right?
Basically, it portrays itself as another max level wall block.
2,875,000, and that's a difference of 20,000. So, just your opinion, what's better? What's going to protect your base more?
Armored, hands down.
Yeah, I would say armored, heavy armored.
Okay.
What splash is there that really that needs protecting? Because the Juggernaut splash will just obliterate everything. Vindicator's the same. Don't really get frontal splash anymore. Everything's overhead splash. So the walls and all that, like splash blockers, they don't really work too well on overhead splash. Like now, if you throw like a crap ton of Vanquishers, they do frontal splash, and so the turret would be good for that. The one that blocks splash would be good for that, but nobody hits with Vanquishers anymore. So, like hammers do frontal splash, so like they block against the hammer splash.
Okay.
Your opinion, Destry? You've been quiet over there. I'm getting scared. I'm gonna make sure the goat's still alive.
No, I'm still alive.
All right.
I have none rain at the moment.
I guess I agree with Daba. I mean, if the legendary Hellfires were more relevant and you're using those, maybe the splash benefits would show up there, surrounding units or base attributes. But all the overhead stuff it doesn't matter. I go with the armored myself.
I did want to say something real quick,
though. Those legendaries, Wrong Thinker said that they were thinking this was in the forums, that they were thinking about considering reducing the size of them so they become more relevant, but just like I thought, it was on his head. So,
Go ahead.
keep in mind as we were distant Kickside for this, that, and the other on the command center, and I know I'm a little bit behind here, but they did give us a leaderboard that is working and appears to be working correctly.
Three cheers for the leaderboard.
So I mean, just keep that in mind.
Would you say 3 beers for the leaderboard?
Well, hell yeah, you can do that. I'm buying.
No. There is a huge amount of benefits that have come out. I mean, like I said, don't shoot the messenger. That was the consensus to Shadow Killer's question, not my personal opinion. I don't find it to be a cash grab. Timing was, unfortunately they had to make sure that the timing fit for the event, which kind of condensed a lot of other stuff in the same period of time. But again, you can always go back. These events and these structures, the majority of them are already slated for release months in advance. So,
and let's be honest, the event is a lot more important than Invasion.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So
again,
I mean,
like you said, it's not.
I was just curious about their timing. That's all. And then I'll be honest, I didn't even think about the event. I completely fucking forgot. Now I am going to log off, but before I do, I got a couple things I want to say. First, David, excellent fucking job with the art, man. You are and damn good job. All right, that shit's off the chain. What you're pulling out with the art is fucking awesome.
Well, I got to give props to Skip for providing some of it. And
it don't matter. You've done a superb fucking job, my man. It looks great. Second, we are looking for an addition to the Saturday show as a producer. So we'll have 2 European producers, like we have 2 American, U.S. producers for Wednesday. We are looking for another European producer. So we'll have 2 on each day. So if you guys know anybody, want to give it a try, we have a very tight vetting process. So,
Yeah, I like it tight, baby.
But I want 2 people for Saturday, like we have 2 people for Wednesday. So I am looking for another producer out there who wants to try to give it a go. Let me know, or let Skip know, let somebody know, and we'll jam it. There you go, Hunter. Oh, wait a minute, he's Scottish. We need a fucking subtitle for him.
Dr. Scott.
I got a little Scottish chair, me killed.
I mean, we might need to get some subtitles for him on here.
I cannot give her any more, she'll blow.
But
damn it, Jim.
We're looking for just one more. So we'll have 2 on each. So any guy, if you know anybody, let me know. Skip, thank you for stepping up. You're doing it. All of you guys doing a fantastic fucking job. The show has really stepped up, and we are back to where I've seen it. We're back to where it was. So damn good fucking job on everybody out there. All you guys kick fucking ass. All right, I'm out, guys.
Cool, man.
Please share your battle logs, please, of all the people that hit you during Warpath.
Oh yeah, Skip was just saying she flattened your ass, dude.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Hold on.
Only one time, but it was fun as shit.
Hold on, there we go. Let me go ahead and pop it up.
Mr. bragging about it.
Sorry, Shadow, for flattening you. Well, not really, but yeah, sorry.
Hold on, let it pop up.
You're not supposed to say sorry. You're supposed to say
oops.
All right, we got it.
While you're doing that, I will allude to something that the real Slim Shady wants us to
my husband
promote.
hit you.
Everybody and their mama beat me up.
I couldn't 100%.
Jim couldn't 100% you though. I think if you click on it, I think it's RJ Rackham. I don't think 96%. Did I 100%? Yeah, I can't remember if I lost my.
Oh yeah.
I got you for 100%. Oh yeah, I tapped that ass.
Well, while we're on the subject of PvP, and while I've got this up,
Enjoy it while you can, because you know I am slowly but surely
Oh, you're
my way
back
up.
to your base again.
I've already got a
Ooh.
base design in mind that I will be putting together in 12 days.
I can guarantee one thing about your base design. It's going to be
I'm
symmetrical.
going to test it.
I'm going to test it.
I gave 12 days, 10 days for my upgrade, and then I got to change all my platforms.
That's that looks like a corner base, Shadow.
It looks like a big smiley face.
That's what it is. It is
does.
a corner
It looks like a big
base.
smiley face is what it looks like.
Yeah, I just want to give you a heads up, man. The new way of attacking nowadays is just for people to throw in their siege squadron and herald and suicide their herald right on your CC.
I know. That's like I said. I give it about 15 days, and I'll start redesigning my base. I've got a new design. I got to thank Gabby, because it's his design I'm going to be
Shadow,
using.
while you're on, you ought to grab one technical, purchase it, so you can start upgrading it.
What the hell's a technical?
You can get it out of the gear store.
Hey, Shadow, it's
right there.
So adorable. He doesn't know what a technical is.
That
technical is basically
a
massively upgraded version.
Oh, I can get one.
Yeah.
Hey, Shadow, the technical is pretty much like a howler on steroids.
There we go.
Yeah, it's between the howler and the what was it? The
Hades.
Okay, the rocket version.
Well, they can shoot flames or regular.
It's a freaking flame tank on steroids that can shoot air too.
Look, it's the Hellhound on steroids.
I just got one. I'll start upgrading it too. I can't upgrade it. I don't have.
Somebody get Shadow some Thor. So we can
I can get.
I can get Shadow at least.
I think so.
Because you were like the master at driving scorpions. I mean,
One of those 22 million build or something.
I'll tell you right now if I have it.
No, there should be 22 million.
Oh, I don't see phalanx.
Right,
He's got. Oh yeah, there's the phalanx, right? Yeah, right there. You do. You have 6.
Yep, I got 6.
You have those. Those are fast.
Level 10.
That's a beefed up scorpion right there.
Yeah, I know. I know those are.
Yep.
I got one of them. I'll start upgrading it later.
Oh, you want those?
I can get Thor. That's not a problem.
Well, I wanted to tell you that because I knew he's on the show, and I was like, and he needs to get a technical to start upgrading it.
Well, I just definitely while we have him on the show, Shadow, can we announce the show we were talking about? Lonnie, I'll get you.
Yes.
I was trying to get this.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yes. Let's just announce it. Throw it out there where everybody.
Go ahead, guys.
Well, I gotta say this because
I'm not sure what day we're gonna run it, but we're gonna call it Fucky's Power Hour, and it's gonna be all about smashing shit and having fun.
I fucking love that name.
Does it only have to be an hour though?
We're gonna run over an hour. I guarantee.
I guarantee. I think it'll take us an hour just for the people to wake up when you guys show up to hit them, and it'll be like one of those open kind of things. Anybody who's wants to join, even if you're not a high level, you want to snipe tunes or whatever. Just I'm gonna try to do it so that
we'll run tournaments. We'll do whatever whatever's in the mainstream.
We'll do something. Throw something out there, surprise or something. I'll host it on my computer. That way, none of the producers here have to worry about lag or anything if they want to join in.
And if you need somebody, I've got 2 gaming rigs now, networking up and running. So power is of no consequence.
Yep. And then we're going to have the goats gone wild. So occasionally we're going to have the goats, and we'll definitely have Mr. Destry.
The goats will be few and far between.
Yep.
Wow, this is too crazy.
Goats gone wild, because goat stands for greatest of all times. So we're gonna get the greatest of all times. We might even bring Shadow out of retirement. Hell, fuck! I talked to Jano last night for two hours, and then I watched his Twitch stream. We might even bring Jano out of retirement. Hell, you never know what's gonna happen.
That would be a real War Commander legend.
Goats gone wild.
While we're on this subject, I also want to touch on something for the real Slim Shady. He's got a poll on the page. He's running this Saturday. You want your opinions of whether it would be a 7:30 p.m. Eastern show or a 4:30 show, whatever's best. But it's going to be a RAV style show, a random act of violence jump show. If you choose to join, go on the Unshackled page. I pinned, because now that the show is actually on the air, because normally we hold the actual shows pinned first. I pinned his now up on top, so it's the first there. Answer the poll, add your name, and whether or not you feel it should be a 4:30, a mid-afternoon show, so you can run a little longer, or if a later evening show is more convenient. And we're going to do a quick jump to smash a sector. There are stipulations that are you're going to lose your tag. Everybody's going to be tagged up with a specific tag for the team that jumps. So you're going to be under the UJT tag. So Unshackled jump team.
And one more.
So, go ahead.
One more thing for the producer idea out there for you guys out there. This is a very important rule. I want this to be public so everybody can hear. Whoever wants to join, you cannot be hating on any one group. That is truly my only. Other than you can't be a fucking loser cheater. You cannot bring your game politics on the show. If you have a serious problem with the group, then
will not be in Power Hour.
It won't be on any Unshackled brand at all, because we're going back to how Unshackled was, and
we're going to hit everybody, and anybody. We're going to be with our friends. We're going to hit AAFTP, TAO, whatever.
And that's precisely.
It's going to be about fun.
Yeah, that's precisely the reason why you'll be. That's precisely the reason why you'll be required to lose your tag for the event.
And like Antoine always says, keep it classy, folks. Keep it classy.
Keep it classy.
Keep it classy.
If you can't keep that classy, then turn it off. It'll look bad.
I might as well lose my tag altogether because my name is just a tag.
Well, you will during the
That's how it was last night. Somebody said it was like, "Oh fuck, RAV's here, fuck."
during the UJT,
just came to visit. It was so cute. I thought that was funny.
During the UJT event, you'll play under the tag, and then you will be stripped of the tag once the jump is over. So you can go back to your original, or you can stay without a tag. It doesn't matter. But to join, you have to drop your tag. You will get the temporary one, and it will be removed after the jump.
I wasn't sorry.
Okay.
I wasn't only joking. I was being really serious. Someone in my sector, Sector 173, they actually made a champ tag, and I was like, "Okay, dude."
They really did make a champ tag?
Yeah.
I thought you were joking.
That's awesome.
I was, but I wasn't.
They're famous.
You could be a champ.
There's a Venom tag out there somewhere.
I've seen that. I thought that was your crew.
No. I don't have. I think there's only one. There's only one character out there with that tag.
I've seen numerous fuck you tags.
Yes, I have.
Hey,
I've been told fuck you a lot, so.
Probably not as much as I have.
Well, it's pretty close.
All right, there. I got the technical upgrading now.
There you go.
Yes.
He went and got himself some Thor.
I'm upgrading. I haven't.
Oh, you're upgrading it. That's right, upgrading. All right, not building, it's upgrading. Gotcha.
For the UJT tag, Scooby's requesting that do raids and war efforts for it. This way you
it has already been done, and that is we all will have the benefits of being part of that group. So if you've never had those buffs and never felt the bonus of the raid attributes, you're going to enjoy being under that tag. It's something that might trick you into taking back to your own clan or creating your own clan and doing those
kicking your clan in the ass and getting them to do the damn raids.
Yeah.
So to help trick you into learning what it's all about and seeing why other people smash the shit out of your team and you wonder why.
and you want to call them a hack, and you wonder why. And you wonder why when you go to hit, any other turret, you're like, well, damn, that melts any other time, and the other team that you're hitting has a buff because they've got a defensive buff. It's really, really worth it to run those raids and have those buffs.
And with the Tech Center and Go-Go Bar, you get more buffs as well, like with the upgrade.
That's why I went for my Go-Go Bar. Even though my team is really good about running raids and keeping the buffs up, I'm just like, anything I can do because I suck. I suck when I'm online. I do better when I'm offline and somebody hits me than when I'm online. I think I'm the only War Commander player that sucks when she gets hit online.
It is really funny though to hear you in the raids and stuff. When
I'm out. I'm gonna go play some League.
All right.
Thanks for having me on. You guys rock. Dave, keep up with that goddamn artwork. That shit is badass.
Yeah, I got some secret stuff tucked away he doesn't know about yet, but I'll be floating it his way shortly. But it's all about him. I mean, I don't have the time to do it. I don't have the patience.
That shit is awesome. The page is doing great.
I'm just getting the okay from Kickside that he's using copyrighted stuff.
The shows are doing great. The page is doing awesome. Let's get another producer out there. Come on, guys. This shit's fun.
Yep,
it's a little scary at
somebody
first.
out there.
That's it. And it is a little scary the first time out. Everybody fucks up. Everybody ends the show early. Venom.
I ended it perfectly. It became a two-parter. That's it.
I've done it so many times. It's fucking pathetic, okay? So don't worry about that. All you need is a mic. You don't even have to have a camera. You got to have the mic, and you got to have the balls to get on there. And
now, I've been actually booted before.
That's it. So if you know anybody who wants to do it, hey, leave something on the fucking Unshackled page. You got no problems with it. Come join. Be part of the Unshackled producer family. I'm out, guys. Peace.
See ya. See you, Shadow.
Later.
The legend.
See, you've got to admit, things that Kixeye have recently done, they brought him back again.
He's coming back to the game. I'm telling you.
I know. He's been here.
PM and he goes, "You're blowing up my fucking phone. How many times you're gonna hit my base? I thought you could only hit me once." I'm like, "Yeah, but I told everybody else to hit you too." He's like, "Well, I should be under a bubble." I said, "It's only 4 hours. I got you on a timer, dude." Oh goodness. On a timer. Even Jano PM'd me. He was like, "You just hit my base." I was like, "Yeah, I did. I found you. I found your alt too." I hit him. I don't have any problem with it. And it's tagged. I broke the rules in sector. Sue me.
Oh, well.
Come hit me because you can only hit me once.
All right. Well, let me get through this. This is the gear store. I want to get this last piece of information out, and then
I need these. So yeah.
Yeah, and we can shoot this shit. So back to the gear store, and this is another contentious topic. So Sam Burney put this out. Nice little post picture. Commanders, the gear store has been updated for March. Highlights are as follows. New to the gear store, you have engine pivots for the blackout. Engine slot, 250k metals. The effects increases the turning speed by 5%, 10%, or excuse me, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30 as you progress the levels. Draining coil, blackout tech under the coil slot, 250,000 metals. Increases low power duration by a factor of 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and 25%. Drone command unit. This is the drone slot, which increases your projectile velocity and deployment of drone count. It's 250,000 metals. So at the first level, it will increase the projectile velocity nil, so it won't, but it will increase the number of drones deployed by a factor of 1. At the second level, it will increase the drones by a count of 2. At third level, it increases drone count by 3. At level 4, it increases the projectile velocity at a 25% rate and gives you a 4-count drone increase. At level 5, it will increase 50%, giving a 5 drone count increase. And at max level, it will increase the projectile velocity by a factor of 100% and give you 6 drones extra. Last chance in the gear store is the technical tech. Priced, you can get your technical for 150K metals. You can get the Arctic tires for the technical at 12,500 metals. You can get the grip tires, no picture, for 12,500 metals. Streamlined plating for 31,000 metals. Reinforced plating for 31,000 metals. And massacre training for 78,000 metals. Toxic weapons handling for 78,000 metals. Deflection tiles for the war rig at 250,000 metals. Steering knuckle for the war rig at 250,000 metals. And that death blade, the bonus cow catcher at 25,000 metals. The units that are come into the gear store: Bone Saw will be in for the month. Survivor faction aircraft, 130,000 metals. Breacher infantry for the survivors at 150,000 metals. Tech additions: Rigid rotor for the Bone Saw, 25,000 metals. Articulating rotor, Bone Saw, 25,000 metals. Ice cannon for the Bone Saw at 62,500 metals. Fire cannon for the Bone Saw at 62,500 metals. Ignore my wife trying to PM me. Target leading, Bone Saw, 150,000 metals, and FMJ processing, Bone Saw, 150,000 metals. What's coming out as of this update? We lost the Cyclops tech, including the deep treads, racing treads, wide lens, angle lens, bullet advance, and explosive avoidance. Chaplain tech, including heavy fuel. Why they have the metal count there when it's being removed, I don't know, but whatever. Heavy fuel, lightweight fuel, fuse nozzle, wide nozzle, sprint training, and combustion training are removed. Sunder tech, the unyielding armor, the unrelenting magazine, and the Sunder's heroic training. And the Herald tech, last resort, AA weapons kit, and mega bombs. Those were taken out. So that was what was removed and what was replaced in our weapons lab, or in our our gear store.
Oh, double! Sorry. Thank you, Venom.
I didn't do
it. The rim winner for the Titan paint job. Oh my God! Somebody needs a screen share of that. That's insane. Double put it in the side chat.
Those are some good friends of mine from Sector 46.
I can screen share it if you want.
And that thing looks freaking amazing.
All right. And let me hide the chat.
You've got controls. I shared them for you, so.
So I can present myself. Okay, cool. Just let me know.
So only RIM members can rock that, though.
That's how I'm feeling it, but it's really nice. So let me know if I'm showing up on YouTube, and I'll zoom it in.
I'll tell you shortly. You are.
All right. So CM Bernie says, Commanders, the winning banner from the Alliance banner contest has been completed, introducing the Titan war paint.
That is fucking awesome. That is fucking awesome.
I didn't even hold on. Wait till he spins around again. Look at
it says rim on the tail.
It says rim on the back. It is awesome.
Never noticed. That's awesome. But I like
the fact that the feathered wings flow and the face battle mask is
that is badass. That is badass.
There we go. Now you can see it just like regular. Let's see if I can zoom in. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that is cool as fuck, dude.
Like, look at all the angles and stuff. Like, somebody really took a lot of time. Like, kudos to the art department. And like, look at the little
shadows and the detail.
Look at the little yellow things. They look like bee honey sacks on them, but I guess they're lights. But yeah,
eyes glow on the mask or the yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That's pretty cool.
And now the art department got all this from that banner right there. So This is on the front of the Titan. This is on the back. The wings are there, even though the art department made it a little bit better because they look metallic now.
Well, I mean, they could only do so much. They had to make it work with the
the art department, because like here they have like feathered wings, but then here it's like metallic wings, so it looks a lot better with metallic wings.
I like that. That's really, really awesome. That
is badass.
The light's even like glowing as it turns. Like
I'm jealous now. I need to work harder.
Rim, you looking for a new player?
You want to join Rim just so you can unlock that and keep it in your inventory to have that that warp paint.
I honestly, I don't think they'll be able to keep it once they leave the Rim. It's probably dedicated to the Rim tag itself.
I don't know.
I wonder if they put stand firm, strike hard on the. Nope, I didn't see that.
Oh, come on. How could we reward our players? Oh, I know. Put it on an old unit no one ever used anymore. It's like, why don't you put it on the Darkstorm or the Herald or the Juggernaut? I use my Titan every day.
What's your sector? What is your base name? I'll show you what the Titan can do.
I was going to say, who's not using the fucking Titan?
I was like, it's the guy who commented on the thread already.
It's a skin. If you have an Omega Titan, I'm assuming it'll work. So,
Jesus.
And the banner thing was put up like a month ago. I think the dark. Well, I guess the Darkstorm was like just being shown to us.
If you think the Titan, if you think the Sandstorm, and if you think all these old units are useless, you're paying attention to the wrong show.
Another person says that's a lot of time spent on something for just about 100 people. That's the whole point.
Same as that gold accolade for the top rated player from last season that has those.
Oh, and one of the red guys says, actually, we're 160 members. Get it right.
There you go. Tell him where your base is. He'll take that Titan right up your ass.
See, I gotta love it. I love it. I love it when somebody tries to troll and then they get trolled back with the truth. Speaking
would
of
you like to be 168?
Last night had us all in stitches. Oh my gosh, Lonnie, we got to come up with a contest for the ultimate troll, okay? Because that man can troll somebody to the point where we had 8 people. I don't remember. Destry, how many people were there? I don't know, 7.
Will I be allowed to be in it?
I'm not. I can't remember.
I can't remember. Maybe including Jim is probably 8 of us. I think Champ was in there too, and he was just trolling this guy who thought he was a mega troll in global chat. He trolled him so bad he jumped, and then when he jumped back because he was already jailed, he ended up back in the jail he was in. He finally was able to get out of his jail, and then they just jailed him all back up again. But Lonnie, I'm telling you, I have never laughed as hard as I did yesterday. My sides still hurt today because I laughed so hard. Lonnie he says, it's all right, Skip, go get yourself at the pens and sit back down, and I got some more. He just kept rolling. This guy thought he had it, and Lonnie just laid it right out there for him. That was hilarious.
He had no comeback.
He didn't have anything after that. Thanks for putting that up. I hadn't realized that had been posted already. Anybody use their bone saws like how I used to use my Elite Hellfires? Or no?
No, I use them like suicide valves.
Oh, so I'm the only one who uses them like that?
Bone saws are really good against infantry.
Yeah, I use them because they don't have. I like the ice cannon and the fire cannon, kind of like we used to do with the Elite Hellfires or Hellstorms. Sorry, where you'd mix them up. You'd have 2 of the ice, 2 of the fire, and like 2 of the not cryo. What was the other one? Fuck.
Shock.
Shock. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of how I use mine. I was just wondering if anybody else was using them like that. Okay, got my answer. Never mind.
See, with the Hellstorms, I had all fire because they would split. None of the other rockets would split, and the splitting of the fire would it saved me so many times with my Hellstorms because a lot of times the missiles wouldn't land, but that you would just need 1 to split, and then it would knock out that bunker or something like that.
That's it. Corrosion, fire, and shock. Thank you, Erwin. Yep. I know we're a few seconds behind on YouTube. I miss those. I still can build them, but I miss them.
I actually built 12 of them. I think that could fit in a platinum. I was using them just for nostalgia, and it's kind of cool, like taking the old like the 30 and 35 just with the Hellstorms because you still got to go back and like, you know, stinger bait and all that, because the Hellstorms are very, very squishy. So like if a rifleman even looks at one of them, it's dead.
Yeah, it's dead. They are, because they are kind of like paper. And that's sort of what people were saying about the bone saws. But when I tricked mine out like that, I mean, I have upgraded mine, but when I did, I like them. But like Champ says, they're really awesome against infantry. So, I mean, they have their purpose. You know, what it depends on the base that you're hitting. I don't PvP as much. So this for me is just all PvE. You know, I grab them out of something and stick them in another tune and then switch them around. But that's just me.
When I use my Titan and Blackout, and I'll put the bone saws underneath because they're a guaranteed hit, and then they'll just destroy, like that combo will destroy a lot of stuff as long as there's no like technicals in the base or like a whole crap ton of liberators and bunkers. It'll pretty much do some serious damage to like any base. And then PvE wise, like farming the what are those? The Bastion bases, the Red Locust 35s and 50s. The bone saws work really well. If you do the Iron Strike 60 with Jericho, knock out the 2 hunters, and then Titan and bone saws will do really good, because bone saws are guaranteed hits, so they'll hit the moving, like the Hellhounds and the Nightmares, where Furies won't exactly hit a moving Hellhound until he stops.
Yep, that's one of the things I like about them, because it's a guaranteed hit, and I think a lot of people forget that. So you don't have to wait for them to stop. They're going to target, and they're going to keep with the target.
Now for like getting rid of, I remember when the bone saws had just come out, I just got back from church, and I went and hit Shadow online, and I flat him, and I was using the bone saws to kill his bunkers off, and we were all surprised that a bone saw, I think it was like a level 2 or 3 bone saw, knocked out a max bunker, and we were like, I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely, when I get this when I get enough of these things, I'm gonna make a whole tune of them just for bunkers, because if there's nothing between the bone saw and the bunker, then it'll suicide into the bunker, and it's really nice because you just end attack and then put the bone saw in a PvP tune. And now that we're getting a reduction in PvP, it's probably going to be like 10-15 minutes for that bone saw, so that's definitely worth doing. And even a micro heal bone saw will work, so I could sit there and just micro heal 1 bone saw, and I could drop most offline bunkers, because most people that I hit are offline just because of the time that I hit them, because I hit, like now is like 9 p.m., 9:30 p.m. Most people ain't online, unless they're on like the other side of the world, like Asia or maybe even Europe if they got late buddies. And so I can't call up somebody and be like, hey, just let me know when you're online, or here's my phone number, because some guy was crying that I hit him offline, and I said, here. I gave him my my Google Voice number to like an alt account, and I said, here, let me know. I got typed it in global, and I was just like, here, let me know when you're online and all that. Of course, this is many years ago, and I was trolling him, but disclaimer: don't ever put personal information out. But it was a Google account that I made that it's nothing personal of mine, so I didn't mind giving it out, but. And for some reason, when you give them a way to contact you, I never got a call on that Google Voice number for some reason when the guy was online. So I said, well, you can't really help if a player's online or offline, because unless you jump into their sector and coordinate it in global.
You would do better if I was online, because I suck online. You could hit me offline, and I'd kick your ass. Dang.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa, wow, that's really, wow.
I got a question about Invasion. Just ask the panel, because we had asked. Shadow asked, I think, is it worth it anymore? And the general consensus was not really, but I want to see if we can get feedback. So, like, what about Warpath? Not Warpath. What about Invasion makes it not as it used to be, and like, what could Kickside potentially fix? Or
trophy.
Returning to the trophy definitely would be a bonus. The other thing is, you got to also understand, a lot of people, the consensus is we're looking at a lot of upper level players, people that have been in the game for so many years that it becomes a little bit stale and dry. But you got to understand, it's not, the invasion isn't really for us upper levels to get technical parts or to get Cyclops parts or whatever. It's for the players that are in the low to intermediate stage to get those components that they need. So don't if you're a 48 or a 49 or whatever, don't hold this invasion to the same standards that you would otherwise, because like for a level 30 or 35 or 40, this is awesome for them. But yeah, for the upper levels, a trophy really has always been, I mean, in my opinion, the drive.
What do you think? I was going to ask Destry, what do you think? Like, are you going to participate? I know some of the stuff that you have since we're on the same crew, but what do you think? I mean, is this something that you're going to like still participate in?
Oh, and the stuff that's coming out tomorrow, the invasion?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do it. I want to see what my turrets and shit can do.
That's what I was thinking is because, you know, after the invasion, we have the event. So
right.
I know Kickside, they're probably going to ramp up the defensive waves for the event. So I figure I'm going to do the invasion to see how bad it kicks my ass and maybe make some adjustments to my base.
Hey, can I give you a pointer on it, though?
Me?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Make sure you leave stuff in your bunkers and your towels.
Sorry, you guys.
I had to.
Backstory behind that. I was bitching and cussing at Jim across from me because he was getting farther in their fucking event than me, and I was so fucking pissed off. I was like, son of a bitch, you made it through the third wave and I didn't. What the hell? So I was going and going, and I skipped the daggone defensive wave, the last event, the first round of it, and I was like, fuck, shit. And I was so pissed off, and I went ahead and I spent some XP, and I got some Drakens. I'm like, just going to put those fuckers all over my base. And then somebody said, no, put them in your bunkers. And I'm like, okay. And I went to put them in my bunkers. I'm like, why does my bunker say 0 of 550? And I'm like, shit. I had nothing in all 5 bunkers and couldn't figure out why Jim was getting farther in the defensive waves than me. I went through the entire event, an event and a half. The first part of it was nothing in my bunkers and was so pissed off. I can't tell you how many tries at that defensive wave, the last one, and I failed miserably. And I would hit before it would end, but you still take all the damage. It doesn't heal instantly. And they're like, no, just skip it. I don't want to skip it. It's 110,000 XP. Damn it. I want my XP. I skipped it. Yeah, I have to fill. Don't forget to fill your bunkers and your drone silos. If you're moving stuff around, if you got the Hornets and the Yellow Jackets and you took some Night Owls out, please don't forget to top off your drone silos and your bunkers, ladies and gentlemen.
Put them back in.
Yep, fill them back up. Fill them back up. And if you didn't know, you can put breachers in your bunkers. And
oh, yeah. They can hit air, too.
Yep, they do hit air and they do rip phalanx apart. So just put that little tip out there. You don't have to, just in case you don't have Drakens. There's a lot of people putting them in there. You know, if you're looking for something different, because I know a lot of people got a lot of free breachers and they're not using them for anything. They're pretty vicious in the bunkers if you don't have anything else to put in there. Just throwing it out there.
And if they work really good against phalanx spammers that just drive the phalanx right into the base.
They do. They will rip those phalanx apart, and you'll be like, what the hell was in that bunker?
And if you have an armored bunker, like the not the watchtower or the standard, but the stronghold.
Stronghold. That's what I have. Stronghold.
That gives you a vehicle damage buff to whatever, like whatever's inside does 40% to vehicles, and so that will destroy your phalanx.
Yeah, because all my other stuff would blow the air out of the sky, so I don't do towers anymore. That's just my preference. So I do. Oh, back to the question about invasion, because did David say he was stepping away? David, are you still there?
Nope, I'm not here anymore. I've left.
You've left? I'm sorry. Yeah. Are you going to participate in invasion? Do you feel like everybody else? Are you filled with medals and you're not interested? You want to see?
I'll probably do it just to do it. That's it. Honestly. I don't have anything to buy in the gear store. They're not giving out, tokens like they did on wave 9 and 10.
Yeah, I missed the tokens too. I agree. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm writing all this down to put down for notes for tomorrow.
I mean, the other thing is that they did do is they increased the medal payout. But I mean, for us high levels, we want stuff that we can use, whether it be a breacher token, a technical token, a caretaker token, or something, But
I was a little disappointed. I mean, it was like we were crying for so long to get medals, and now we have so many ways to get them. And don't get me wrong, but yeah, to hear, I wish I had that problem. Jim say, I got to spend medals and buy a whole bunch of its electrics because when the regular medal pay, because again, we weren't anticipating that Warpath payout to be so early in the afternoon.
Yes.
So when that came out, it put him over 900,000 medals, and I knew that his infamy payout was going to be higher, and I'm like, shit, I don't want him throwing medals in the dirt.
Yeah.
And I was like, go buy a whole bunch of its electrics. And I hear Lonnie did the same thing, Scooby did the same thing. Everybody's buying like ops.
I'm going to buy its electric and scrap it.
No.
Why would you do that?
There's a history.
No, first off,
there's a history behind that.
David can only do one thing now. You have to buy a shit ton of thorium that you don't need because you're probably sitting on like 4 billion thorium as we speak.
Hang on, I'll tell you in a second how much I'm hang on.
I don't have that much.
I've got 4 caretakers building, I got poly building, and 3 phalanx.
At all?
That's it. I mean,
that's it. That's kind of light.
Yeah, that's kind of light for me.
Kind of light.
But
aircraft building.
No, well, yeah, I got that building, but that's besides the point. There's no 4 in there.
He's probably got like 50 Apollos building right now.
Yeah, I do have 17 Blood Thors sitting. Decisions.
I am down to 10. I've had to spend 4 so I could get my Ardra to max level. So now my Ardra.
David.
What?
When you're thinking about what to spend that Blood Thor on, my name is Daba Phoenix with 2 B's.
Yeah, well, you cannot transfer, so
Cool.
That would be cool.
Good. All right, so I got those 2 things down. The trophy for sure, back to Invasion. And not that I'm just catering to the higher levels here on the panel. I mean, I'm anybody who's interested. So that's something that I would miss too, because I kind of feel like maybe this would be one of those invasions that I could actually make it all the way through the end without feeling like, oh my God, I can't do it. And then same thing about the tokens, having the tokens back, because I had forgotten that there aren't any. So I got that on the list for tomorrow. We'll talk to the team about it and see, make that passionate plea to, hey, you're going to have a lot of high levels that won't be participating. They don't need any of that tech. They don't need any of those medals because they already have so many medals now. We're following up Warpath. There's nothing in the gear store for them to spend them on now, anyway. Even though you're going to do another one in a couple months, there's nothing for them to spend it on now. Yeah, they could check out their defenses, but, they're just basically going to be throwing those prizes into the dirt. How about offering some tokens, and how about offering a trophy? So, yeah, why not? What the hell?
At least like tokens if they can't do the trophy. I know I don't want them, burning up any ideas they have for trophies that are supposed to go to events or whatever and waste it away on this. But,
Another idea for like mediums and lowers. It's not so much for the hires, but so if I'm a lower level and I can only get to level 5 and I got to restart, I don't get the token. I don't get the like the tech and all that the second go through, because you have to complete wave 10 to have all your tech reset. So they should have it to where like a low level can just keep doing, say, 1 to 5 to grind for tech. Then this way, the lower level, if he needs or say technicals, just sit there and grind 1 to 5, let the base heal 1 to 5.
I have to pull a doctor on this one and shoot that back, because I can see too many people in the high level rankings exploiting that by constantly just grinding to max out their tech.
Like me and getting 999 what are those the Liberator stuff? There we go.
I've got an idea that will maybe please everybody, especially for the lower levels. Okay, let's say yes, they can only get up to wave 5 on the invasion. You know, okay, so let's let them restart. Cut the medals in half.
There you go.
If you're going to give out tech, you know, let's say they give out 2 tech for this. Give them 1 tech. You know?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Yeah, I mean, instead of giving them, 1,000 medals for wave 1 or whatever it was, you get 500. It's something for the lower levels so they can get their medals without, begging for a higher level to open up that base form or whatever. Granted, they're going to be sitting there grinding the hell out of it to get their medals, but they're going to be able to get something for the lower levels.
See, that's kind of the sour grapes attitude that I have for players. Like Dabo says, 999. You have 999 technicals, and you complain that you don't have tech for all 999 of them. Well, you're not going to build 999, so stop bitching about not having the tech to fill 999. Just get
only make 99.
Yeah, just look. If you're on average going to use 40 technicals, then get 40 technicals and get the tech for 40 technicals. If you end up at the end of the round with 95 technicals, you still only need the tech for the 40 that you're intending to use. I'm a player where I have, I think, maybe 25 or 30 of a unit that most people have, 200 of. I don't even use all 30 of them. So, it's just, again, it's all individual gameplay style. But, for example, hammers, I have 29. I've built 3.
I agree with you.
You know what I mean? There's players out there that would say, you got 29 hammers and you only have 3. You should have at least 10 of them built. Well, no, I have 3. I don't even use the 3 all that time. I have 31 technicals, 26 are built. I have 36 phalanx, 30 are built. That's something that maybe I would. Even I don't desire the drive to build all 36 because I use my 2 full plats. I repair a plat while I have the other plat going. You know what I mean?
That's the benefit of having multiples of the same unit is you can swap them out and let one repair.
But again, and I have to touch on the space values. I don't scrap. I don't scrap. Now, there's nothing about it that says I shouldn't. There's a lot of units that I would not need, do not need, and could scrap out of the armory to make space to throw in,
Do you still have jackrabbits built?
No, I don't have jackrabbits built.
I do.
Well, you did. You lost them, didn't you?
I was having an issue where
smashed them around.
I was having an issue where I could not make a unit, and I sent a video into Kixeye, and somebody logged into my account and built 1 jackrabbit like a year and a half ago, and I still have that jackrabbit in honor of Kixeye.
Oh, there you go. Well, I tell you one thing. I would like to build a honey. You know what? I'm going to build a honey badger. Yep.
I love them.
I'm going to use a honey badger. I'm going to build my honey badger.
Yeah, I've been meaning to do a speed test
Level
between
16.
the Honey Badger and the Viper X and the 2 dogs that we got, but I've been meaning to do that for like 6 months now. So I've had my
honey badger is the fastest unit on the map.
That's what I've heard, but I want to actually test it and do a video of it.
And everybody laughed at me because I had honey badgers. It's like
it's been tested. It is.
They should put the rim. They should put the rim skin on the honey badger.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to see the detail. They'd have to scale up the honey badger to like an omega honey badger to make him bigger.
There you go.
Like the size of like a mega tank, not a mega tank, a hammer. Like a hammer.
The size of the juggernaut. The honey badger, the judgy badger.
Hey, remember April Fool's last year we got the jackrabbits that shot juggernaut shells?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So, is there any other discussions we have, or are we just pretty much gone shit-faced crazy and sleepy?
Gone shit-faced crazy and sleepy.
Oh, good. Then we're right on schedule.
I was thinking there was something that I was trying to remember that was in the forums, and I completely forgot what it was off the top of my head. There were some people that were upset about something. I can't remember.
Well,
In the sake of sounding dumb or retarded or...
When we talked about
that's impossible amongst us crazy folk.
Okay, what are they doing with, like, are we able to trade our coins now, or is that not coming out?
Good question.
Not yet. That's the text.
That should come up within the next month.
No.
Yeah, and I'm waiting on that one because I got a whole bunch of bullshit that I need to get rid of.
Yeah, and we cannot yet see the
Wrong Figure did make a comment deeper down in the discussion thread. And of course, that's been kind of moved off now, but or actually, it might still be there. He didn't say it would be 1-for-1 because he didn't think that should be. I mean, because the people who earn those tokens really did work their asses off for him.
Right.
But he doesn't think it should be anything outrageous. Now, somewhere along the line, a rumor floated that it was 15-1. So,
what the hell?
Well, his statement, I believe, was it wasn't going to be something crazy like 15-1. But they took it like he was saying it was going to be 15-1.
So people, because he said it's not going to be 15-1. He just said it's not going to be 1-1.
I hate to interrupt this, but can I share my screen, please?
Yes, please. It's got to be good if he's laughing as hard.
Wrong Figure put in the forums that he was thinking about 15-1, but it wasn't going to be like 15-1.
No, you guys are going to love this.
All right, flip it out there.
Oh, he's got honey badger.
Hey, fuck you!
Yeah, I've had that. I got that on a screenshot when I.
You're not gonna. I'm gonna flatten camp with my honey badger.
Oh shit! I had to share that, guys. I'm sorry, man. That's
Did you just coin your honey badger to level 10?
It's a free upgrade, man.
Oh damn! Nice.
Yeah, it's Thor. So
my honey badger's already 16.
Oh.
Honey badger don't give a shit.
Come on, I want to see what the next one is here. What's it go up to? 16?
16.
Yeah,
that's what mine's at.
You're gonna have to coin that last level because for some reason they put it's Thor and then it's I don't know. Oh wait, yeah, you should have to coin that last one because a lot of those your battle level is ready to kill.
Yeah, maximum level reached 16.
Yep. Yeah, see there you go. You'd have to coin that one.
Champ, bring your badger over to my base. Let's see if it kills it.
Jesus.
It didn't say anything.
No. I could have told you that. You didn't wait.
I wanted to see something.
Do not use 112. God damn it, you're crazy.
You did.
A little bit down.
Fucking
I don't
psycho.
There you go, guys.
Can you see if the Jackrabbit says anything?
No, I'm not doing that. Fuck you.
Please, YouTube would love to know, I bet.
Did you just coin your honey badgers to max?
Yes, he did. He
Oh.
coined the final level.
That's kind of, oh, you got to bring that to my base.
I have a tune. See, there it is. My single honey badger.
Yes.
And it, okay, so let's run this test right now.
Guys,
in the Cocoa Bar.
Hey.
No. I want to run a speed test.
Oh, a speed
okay,
test.
Well, that makes sense.
So Daba. Okay, so I'm gonna put my. Okay, I have a buggy close by. What do you want me to test on the speed? So I gotta like time this properly. I can't send 2 units at the same time.
Corner to corner, so 0 to 499, 499.
No, that could take forever.
No, that's why I wouldn't do it live. I would do it on my own time.
Oh. Yeah. I'll do hookers.
No, we're gonna do it live. Just.
But I mean,
I want to know. We should put Max versus the honey badger.
Ideally, you would want us both starting at the same start point and then both going to the same end point, and then testing that time.
All right. Okay. Never mind. We'll do this later. I'll do this later. I'll test it.
Come on, you can hit them both at the same time. They're gonna be all fried.
Go both to your base.
Yeah, go inside the base and hit recall and see which one gets there faster.
Yeah. The other thing is, it doesn't really matter. It'll say what your time, your distance time is.
Yeah.
So like whatever hex you click on, it'll say 12 minutes or 12 seconds or whatever.
Okay, let's see. Let's see how this works. Let's see how this works here.
You got to do it from outside the base so you can see the time. Because when you recall it on the inside, it doesn't show you the time to your
Well,
base.
you hover over it, it does, but yeah, it's better to do it from the outside.
Okay.
Because for me, when I do it inside, it only shows
Dude,
me.
fucking move your tunes, assholes. Fuck.
Yeah, see, look.
Okay, which tune?
Look,
So
they're both 7 seconds.
Do your buggy first.
See, 7 seconds. 7 seconds.
okay, same speed.
That's why I'm thinking the Viper and those 2 units and the Scorpion, I think, are all the same speed. But I'm gonna
I tested my
I gotta-
Scorpions once with the Viper X, and my Viper X was faster, but I like I said, I mean, maybe, I don't know.
I tell you, the Scorpions, when I'm PvPing, Scorpions suck to load. So I have Scorpions instead of buggies because, for me, anyways, it no matter what is in the tune, I can load it pretty quick. But then if it's got 1 Scorpion in it, it takes like twice the time to load. And that's the ones that I usually lose, like when I'm PvP battling, is somebody with a Scorpion. So I'm putting Scorpions in my thing. And micro-healed Scorpions work just as great as regular Scorpions as far as map travel.
It's like somebody not having somebody in YouTube chat have a problem with me this evening. I didn't say it was a rumor. I said that someone posted it on a page that it would be for sure 15-1. So they still haven't made a decision. If they had made a decision, it would already be in game. I told him, and I thought 15-1 was too high. So I'm not trying to dispute you. I didn't call it a rumor. I said there were rumors flying that it had been officially stated it was 15-1.
Yeah.
I saw it posted on a page that they said, Wrong Thinker said 15-1. He said something like 15-1. It hasn't been determined yet. So I didn't mean to, I wasn't disputing you. I wasn't trying to say that you're wrong. And it isn't, I didn't say it was a rumor. I said rumors were flying that it was made official. It was not, it has not been made official. If it comes out as 15-1, then that's what they decide on. But the community has a say. If you guys think 15-1 is too high and you'd like to see something around maybe 8 or 10 or 12-1, feel free to create a poll and put it out there.
Or even 5-1.
Hey guys, Debo just killed my honey badger, so this
That
means
bastard.
this means war.
See, with the tokens, I think, because you can earn, if I'm correct, with the token bases, with the 100 and the 150, you can earn 5 tokens for a particular unit in a week. And so if it was 5-1, you could in a week you could craft one unit. So let's say I have disruptors that I don't particularly care for, and I get 5 disruptor tokens. I can then cash in once a week these disruptor tokens for 1 hex or training experience. But then we're assuming that 1 training experience will be equivalent to like 1 token, which it may or may not be.
Yeah, you might have to get 5 of the text to replace the 5 training tokens, which means now you're basically at a 5-to-1 ratio. You're spending 25 tokens to get 5 tokens.
Yeah, and some of those tokens, I mean, let's face it, some of those tokens that we get are random. I mean, whether they're in an event, a special event, or you're doing a base, some of those drops are random drops, and you already have all the tokens that you need, and that unit's particularly max, but you're kind of pissed because you're doing it, and you get tokens supposedly that you don't need. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I mean, I really don't have that many tokens that I haven't used, but I know some of you other guys have bunches and bunches of them. I hope it's not 15-1. I hope it's less than that, but I don't think it should be fair that it be 1-1, because boy howdy, that would be exploited in a big way.
Yeah, no, none of us. We all agreed in the past 3 times we've discussed this topic that 1-to-1 is not. It's not viable. It's supposed to be something of value, and you
Right.
have to take a loss if you're getting an exchange.
And I'd rather have an exchange than not have nothing.
Well, yeah, but
Then
again, all this is based on them actually allowing us to see our unused token count, which
Here's
we
what
don't see yet.
here's what sounds fair to me. Okay, 5-to-1 for Gen 1. If you want a Gen 2, it's going to be 10-to-1 if you have 10 Gen 1 tokens. That
Mhm.
makes sense.
That's nice. You should post that on the forums.
That is a phenomenal fucking idea.
That is a phenomenal fucking idea.
Almost as if
That's an
Venom said
FFI
it
right
last
there.
week.
Yeah.
PFI.
That's yeah.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Destry? Destry was getting ready to say something.
Oh shit, go on. I don't know.
Ah, shit. Come on. It was about tokens. Come on. Come on.
I don't know. Just go on.
He started to say it's almost as if Venom said that last week.
I think somebody posted that in questions specifically to PM or in questions in the Discord. In fact,
I'm adding that tomorrow. And Cyclonus, I did get your information about a tier-based invasion. You thought they're like we talked about before. Remember back in the day, maybe it wasn't Onslaught, but how the events used to be. Why not make a tier B for the low to mids and then make a tier A for the high levels? Yes, there's going to be people stuck in the middle, but if you could choose, but once you chose that, you had to stick with it. No, I think that would have to be level based, but I'm going to bring that up. But yeah, I like that. Champ. I got it. Gen 1.
Damn, where's my low level ass gonna fit in?
Anywhere you want.
Whoa, don't tell me that.
Well, but like Venom said, this all comes in line of that they said that they're going to give us a better way to keep track of our tokens.
Yeah,
right.
So I think with the tech system, we're going to be able to see the actual tokens that we have. I mean, I don't know about Dabo, but I spend a significant amount of my time as a moderator explaining. Even I have a hard time with it. Sometimes when I'm looking at my base, I have a hard time explaining it to someone without getting them in a Google Hangout to show them, because they don't understand. They see 3 of 3 and they go out and they collect a Thor and they think the next one, they think they have enough tokens. And then all of a sudden they get to this point, it says 2 of 9 or whatever. And they're like, I don't understand. How do I know how many tokens I have? And how do I know how many tokens I've used? And I get what they're saying is because they don't understand it. And
a piece of burn pencil is the only way currently.
Yeah, exactly. It's the only place to write it down, really, is just to write it down on a piece of paper. And then you hope when you go to use those tokens that what you're using is what you actually got.
I was in
I don't have the time to snip every token that I've ever won.
I bought the Phalanx pack, I think it was, or somehow I acquired a bunch of Phalanx tokens. And yeah, there was 2 Phalanx offers that came out, and I bought them. And in my calculations, I should have had 55. And I sent a ticket in because when I was upgrading it and all that, I came up too short for level 10. And one of the Kickside people apparently was in my account, and he says, "Oh yeah," and he gave me a breakdown of like where I used my tokens and all that. And he says, "Yeah, this is how many you collected. This is how many you had, so it's right." And so Kickside was actually right, and my numbers were messed up. So you got to be extra careful if you're writing them down that you keep an accurate thing.
You don't even have to write them down. If you want to figure out how many tokens that you've spent on a unit, you look at the level and you just do the basic math.
Well, I'm talking
like but his question wasn't the amount spent. His was how many he had as a remainder. And
yeah, and the only way that you can't really tell that is if you have more than 10 that you haven't used. Because once you get to 10, then it just says 10 of 10, and then you level up to 11. Well, if you had more than 10, it still says 10 of 10. So you got to keep leveling it up, and then as you level them up and use your tokens, pretty soon it'll go from saying 10 of 10 to 8 of 10.
Right. And basically, that's pretty much what I've had to tell people when I've referred them to the wiki, or I've showed them this is that unit and this is how many tokens you need for each unit. And it all comes back to, well, how do I know if I have enough? Because they're also using Thor when they're doing that. How do I know if I have enough Thor so when I use them? And how do I know if I have how many I have left over. And I'm kind of like what you said. It's not until you get to the end where you can't use any more because you don't have enough that you know how many you have left. I know that sounds dumb, but then even then, if you earn more, there's still no way to really know how many tokens you have. I'll just be glad when there is a way for us to keep a track of it. Oh, Trippy wanted to know about the I'm going off a question. The Night Owls, Trippy. The reason why it shows that they had a workshop, this was back old Unshackled show when Wrong Thinker was on, was originally the Night Owls were supposed to have a schematic and a workshop. And then way back when, if you've been playing that long, they did that kind of adjustment to stealth. And when they did the adjustment to stealth, it kind of foobarred the things that they were going to bring to the technicals, so they scrapped it. They did have things that were going to be components to be added to the Night Owls, and when they tested them, it screwed the stealth even more. So it never came out with anything. And somebody had asked Wrong Thinker, well, will there ever be a time that the Night Owls will get a schematic? And he said probably not. Because the whole point of what's cool about the Night Owls is the fact that they are stealth. So putting components on them, it didn't test out well. So that's why they have a schematic, but there's nothing to put on it because it didn't test out well.
Debo had a good question out there. What about legendary tokens?
What about them?
What are you gonna do? How do the trades work with that? If you got extra legendary tokens, what do you do?
Think about that.
Yeah.
Probably nothing because it'll be specific to faction unit tokens.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Well, I'm glad you said that. Let me put that on my list. Thanks for asking the question.
And since you're making a list, can you put the Omega Legion on there, please?
Fuck the Omega Legion. How about my legendary hover tank?
Just want a goat trophy.
Goat trophy. Do you want a goat on a spits spinning?
No.
He wants a goat trophy with the goat's head stuck in the fence.
No. he just wants goats coming out of the go-go bar for him.
Every time you click on the go-go bar, the sound effect goes. Instead of fireworks, it's just goats jumping on standing on top. Like,
yeah, there you go.
On the King of the Mountain.
Oh my gosh, I wish I'd thought about that sooner. April 1st is coming, by the way, so don't forget what usually happens on April 1st. Although April 1st is also Easter, ladies and gentlemen, so please keep that in mind. Good Friday's coming up. Please keep that in mind. Kixeye is a United States-based company, so there will be some holiday time in there.
KS Man of War message automatically held for review hidden by God's Goat. That's a cool feature.
Are they gonna make the go-go bar look like a cracked open Easter egg with runny yolk on the ground?
You mean like a Cadbury egg or something?
Yeah, Cadbury Easter egg.
I don't know.
But yeah, back to the Night Owl thing real quick. If you're not a cheater, if you're a fair player and you want to be a real dickhead like me, you can go in and put an empty workshop schematic on all your Night Owls, and then you hit people and have.
I didn't say it. You know how many times you've been reported for that?
I love it.
I saw a freaking star over top of his unit.
Gosh, it's like this player's got. I didn't think Skip, you covered that on the show, and so did Wrong Thinker. This guy's got his Night Owls workshop. What's the idea? I'm like, Jesus H. Godscope.
You can still put an icon, but there's nothing connected.
Nothing connected.
Yep.
Yes, it cracks up. Cracks me up.
Like you can
and if you're really smart about it, you don't use the same icon on all of them. You use a different set of icons so that they really think you're fucking got different schematics.
You can also name your schematics to whatever you want. So you can put like, Omega Inferno or something on your Inferno schematic, and then when you take a screenshot of it or show it live, people are like,
Or you could Photoshop something into those blank spaces and put a screenshot on the page.
Challenge accepted.
I know. I was waiting for that one.
There's going to be
No, it's gonna. First off, one of the schematics has to be your Daba Phoenix logo, and the other one has to be Daba Gold. There you go.
I can make that happen.
I know.
It sounds to me like he's got a picture in the queue already.
I'm thinking he's already done it.
It's already. Yeah, I was gonna say it's already done. What's it? What are you guys talking about?
Kudos to Daba for finding the finding that #1 player in the game with that accolade.
I went to go hit that. Or I went to go visit that person to congratulate them, and they were offline. And then, like 5-10 minutes after I jumped in, they came and hit my base, and so I was like, okay, cool. They got like 20-something%, and I peeked in their base because I was expecting an infamy bank with like self-bubbled and the usual, and he had quite a few tunes around him, but it wasn't that bad. So I was like, I could actually go hit this guy if I wanted to. This person, so I don't know the gender. So this person, if I wanted to, but I didn't because I was like, I just wanted to see what sector they were in, and then when the infamy reset, I was like, oh crap! Like you can't just go to the top. You can't just when the infamy reset, I was like, oh, you just can't go to the top. And I was like, oh wait, I got this person in my log. So I posted the log, went back, and then I was actually in a live hangout with our producer here, Venom, and I was like, here, we're gonna see this live. You're gonna get a picture, you're gonna get a video, and you're gonna see it live.
Yep. He beat the challenge really quick.
Check the side chat, Skip, and everybody else if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
If that is true, I'm gonna build one just to check it. I tried the Widow X and it didn't work.
Okay.
Oh, that's interesting. I could try.
I mean, does anybody have the answer? Do we know what you need to use to hit the fucking VK ones or no?
No. I know that
God
there's at least
damn
one
it.
in every sector, and it's supposed to help continue the storyline of the events. I have seen a few sectors that there's been more than one in the sector. But you're right. I didn't think about that. Well, hell, let's have Chant take his honey badger in there.
Prime time or Arachnid Army.
I just wonder if you have to use one of them legendary units.
Well,
Prime time
in
or
the
Arachnid
forums.
Army.
In the forums, Cybertoad said spider. That's all I'm going to say on the thread that was about this. So that makes me think of a Widowmaker.
Oh, he did.
I'm asking a simple question.
Little tiny thing flip, did he?
Yeah.
Somebody tried it, and it did not work. So no spiders. Sorry.
Yeah.
You tried what?
Tried all three of the spiders. None of them worked. Sorry, don't work.
So with like, as in the event when you translated the thing for that spider, it I forget what exactly it came to, but 1 is the first letter of the alphabet. So I tried attacking it with every unit we have that starts with A, and it didn't work.
I don't think that'd be that cryptic, but
fucking pissed me off.
You know what? With the great touches that they do to ancient mythology and Greek and Roman and on all the stuff, Ardra and Nyx and that kind of stuff. You never know. They could be very cryptic.
I'm just waiting for Thanos.
At least they're not doing like Thor.
I mean, that's basically Sheila, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
Back in her day.
Yes.
And Kara was Iron Man.
Or maybe that's the hammer. Just,
Is there anything that we didn't cover? Like, I'm scrolling through the YouTube chat. I don't think too much.
I want to put something out that I tested yesterday because I got a couple PMs on this. And if you upgrade your turret bottom, the turret top does not fire.
Yes, we did confirm that.
Mm-hmm.
Just putting that out there.
While it's upgrading, it does not fire.
Yep. I put a whole horde of ERMs against my avalanche, and the ERMs did not. I was sitting there for 5 minutes watching these ERMs shoot my armored turret, and it just did not die. So I'm thinking it was just. But I didn't see the health bar either, which was weird, because I just saw the upgrading bar, but I didn't see the health bar, and it was there for like a good 5 minutes. I started it and I went to watch a TV show, and I came back, and they were still firing, and I was like, "Wow, you guys are little troopers, aren't you?" But of course, since the avalanche wasn't firing, I couldn't kill them off. So, Champ, are you still around?
Yep.
You should do since you have max honey badgers, do a whole horde of honey badgers versus one of your avalanches and see which one would win.
No, it's okay.
I mean, like I can almost guarantee you it'll be the avalanche.
Yeah. I'm pretty much thinking it's the avalanche. In fact, I think it would be the same outcome if it was Overwatch, or for that matter, Railgun, or shit.
The railgun, the honey badgers might.
I don't think anything won't kill the honey badgers. Let's put it that way.
Well, the honey badgers would stand the best chance against the railgun because he doesn't have splash, so he'd have to fire 40 times or whatever the max is you can hold.
Yeah, but I think the railgun would live long enough to fire 40 times against the honey badger.
Let me see. So you can hold 81 honey badgers in your.
Okay. Get on it, Daba. That's your.
I am.
There's your
live as we speak. I mean, I don't have maxed turrets, but.
All right. Well, if that's all, while Daba's doing his experiment in honey badger physics, we're going to go through our shout-outs and our goodbyes. So, you'd kick it off, Champ. Any shout-outs or last-minute words of wisdom?
Just you guys on the panel here. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. And you guys up there on YouTube, thanks for tuning in. Great show. It's pretty good information. I learned some stuff as well, and thanks. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. And good job, Kickside.
You did. Okay, skip David. our new good friend.
I didn't even realize I was up next.
All right, you next, dude.
Okay, well, anyway. I want to thank everybody out there on the panel tonight, everybody out in YouTube for watching, and all those that will be watching it later. Just remember, this is a game. We have lost several players, I would say, this month. We just lost probably one of the greatest scientists known to man, Mr. Stephen Hawkins. Like I said, this is being a game. Don't take it seriously. Don't take it to heart. It's just pixels. I want to give props to Kix for a lot of the new stuff that's coming out. Doc, wherever you are, a big fuck you.
Thank you. Destry.
Damn, I wasn't ready. I gotta agree with David. I mean, shout out to the panel. You guys for doing the show. I got to second David. I mean, it's a game. Let's play it and have fun. You can blow my base up. I can blow your base up. End of the night, click repair. Have fun. Do it again tomorrow.
Nice. Thank
Baby.
you. Daba.
Yeah, just going off of what Destry was saying, if you got a problem with a player, bubble them and fight it on the map, but don't go in global and all that nonsense, because that's just
yeah, you'll end up banned.
I was thinking more on the morality aspect and not the I'll get punished, but I guess the I'll get punished works as well. But remember, there's humans at the other end of the keyboard, or as far as we can tell, they're humans. I mean, they're doing pretty good work in robotics nowadays, so I don't know. But
Right.
I want to give a shout out to Sector 80.5, and I got that number. I asked inside chat and YouTube for two sectors or two numbers between 1 and 100, and the average of those two is 80.5. So shout out to Sector 80.5 this week, and shout out to Kickside for turning these avalanches to 5 seconds. That's really helpful. So this way we don't have to spend 2 days on them, and even giving them a buff. So now these honey badgers don't do anything to my turret. So I keep the honey badgers away. And finally, shout out to Venom for running the show. My lovely mother for making me brownies that she just brought in right now.
Oh, I don't get any brownies. All right. No, very well. Godscope, please.
Well, I popped in late, but shout out to the panel. Thank you guys for running the show. I'll be sure to watch the first half of it. Shout out to Champ for hitting level 48. Good job. That's fucking,
nice.
You're a lunatic. And yeah, just thanks for having me. Thanks everybody for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the show.
Nice, nice. Our illustrious queen. Any words from the...
Well, damn it, Godscope. That's all right. It's okay. You made me laugh so hard I had to mute. Being banned. That's a private conversation between Godscope and I. Yes, congratulations, Champ, for hitting 48, man. Rocking and rolling. Sorry, Facebook wouldn't let you brag about it. Hope you didn't mind that I threw it on my Facebook page.
Oh, yeah, but we didn't talk about that, huh?
You fucking freak.
So I was so disappointed. Bless his heart, he's in there in the Google Hangout with us last night. He's like, man, what the hell happened to the brag? I can't tell everybody I'm level 48.
Yeah.
Took a picture of his base and threw it on my Facebook page.
No, I guess Kixeye or Facebook, one of the two, they did away with that thing where it doesn't even show what like rank you are. You know, congratulations, Commander, you just made Brigadier General or some shit. You know, and it doesn't even show that no more.
Doesn't even show that anymore.
Congratulations, you spastic! You just reached level 48. We're gonna take away this feature because you probably don't want to brag because you've done it 47 times in the past.
all I can think of. All I can think of is the Guitar Hero episode of South Park. That's. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, because this it's kind of cool. Congratulations, you made captain.
Yeah, you made colonel. You're second sergeant.
You know, and you got that chronically. You know, you got that chronicled in your Facebook archives and stuff.
Yeah.
Look it up.
Right.
Yeah, I made captain or level something this, you know, on this date or whatever.
I know we all want to. I mean, my goal is to see Commander in Chief. Who knows if I'll ever get there? Probably unattainable for me at this point.
What rank is that?
That's the 50. Max level in game, Commander in Chief.
Well, yeah, but my point is, it doesn't even show your rank anymore.
Yeah, I've noticed they've done a lot of. It's the same with the radio tower giving you those, what is it, two a day or whatever alerts that you've been hit. They did away with that for a while, quite a while back.
Well, I don't even think there is such thing as like a top end level because you can always get more experience.
Yes, but
it's like with Infinity.
Your highest ranking in game is Commander in Chief. And I don't know, my very good friend, a man who really was a cornerstone when I started out in the game, the Godfather. I think he's up there. He's probably 2 levels short of that or so.
Because I would think Commander in Chief, you'd get that at level 50.
It's higher than that. I think it's 56 or 54 or something.
That's unattainable.
I'll go on the wiki. It's attainable. It is attainable, but the problem is that you're probably looking at like quadruple whatever you're at. I mean, we're at the billions now. It's probably like,
you have to grind
the entire course again.
You have to spend hours, like 15 hours a day grinding res for like 3 years probably to get that XP required.
Well, yeah, to go to 43, from 43 to 44 takes the exact same amount of XP as it did to go from level 1 to 43.
Commander in Chief is level 57 at 816,776,484,377 XP.
Jesus Christ!
Good luck.
Your 5-star general consists of level 55 and 56.
Wow.
400 billion at 55, or 4 plus or minus. I'm not going to give you the exact terms, but a little over 400 billion XP get you to 55. Almost 600 billion to get you to 56. And
so
then
you have to get like 200 billion more XP to level up from 55 to 56. That's like level 1 to 49.
Yeah, you have to get about 170 billion XP to go from 55 to 56. To go from 54 to 55, it's 200 billion difference.
Anybody there out on YouTube? What's the rank of a 48? Am I
48? You are considered a brigadier general.
Brigadier general.
Yes.
So the same as 45, 46, 47.
Yeah, you know what? Since look, I got it up. I'll show it for you, and this way you'll have.
I think we cut off Skipjack's shutout.
Well, I'm sorry. She will certainly have.
Oh, that's now I feel fucking terrible.
That's right. You should feel bad. You should feel damn horrible.
Skip, I apologize. Please forgive me.
So here you go, really quick, just for the 44 levels. So you've got your colonel, 44, 45, and 46. Brigadier General, 47 and 48, where you are, champ, right there.
Okay.
48. Major General, 49 and 50. Lieutenant General, 51 and 52. General 4-star, 53 and 54. 5-star General is 55 and 56. And like I said, Commander-in-Chief is your highest attained rank in the game. There are no further levels or ranks. You can still gain XP, but you would not gain any character. And with that, my dear queen, I apologize. You can have my head on a pike later. Please finish your shout-outs.
That was all my fault.
Married, I'd tell you exactly where you could put your head. It wouldn't be on. I got news for you. It would be somewhere, and it would be there for a very, very long time. Bring a snorkel and a towel.
Jesus.
Hey, that being said, yes, no, I'm glad you said that, because I think it's probably a combination of Kicks and Facebook that bent him over by not allowing that brag. And like I said in the side chat, it's like being bent over without lube, only just sadder with nothing at the end. Let's see. I want to congratulate Scooby on hitting level 49 a few days ago.
Good job, Scoob.
That's pretty kick-ass. That's totally kick-ass. Yes, a lot of that was just from the resources of the people he took off the people that he flattened during Warpath. I want to congratulate City. These are my congratulations shout-outs. City and the community, thank you for those of you who answered the call, for him making and breaking, and now is over 3,000 subscribers to his YouTube channel. The man does a ton of stuff for this community, way more than I've ever done for the community. And so if any of you who are listening out there in YouTube land, or that will be listening later, if you haven't checked out City's YouTube page, go to his page, like and subscribe it. And just like they're going to ask you later to like and subscribe our page, like and subscribe the page. He doesn't make any money off of it, but it really is a kudos to him as a way of saying thank you for all that he does. And if you don't see a video for a base that you need to have done, all you have to do is PM the man or make a comment in one of his videos and say, I don't have those units. Can you help me do it with the units that I have? He'll get with you one-on-one and get you whatever he needs. And if you don't have those units, he'll tell you who to bug to prep it for you so you can finish it with the units that you have. I get you don't want to be a beggar. I've had some people PM me and they say, well, they don't want to beg anymore. They can do part of the base, but they can't do the rest. City will say, hey, have somebody run through and take out this, and this with their phalanx, and then you do the rest, and I'll show you a video doing the rest. He's done that before. He's prepped stuff out, showed the person what it looks like prepped, and done a video just for you. So, again, kudos to City for reaching 3K plus subscribers. I want to shout out to the panel and say thank you guys for showing up. Thank everybody in YouTube for listening, hanging out with us. I love that the community is coming together as a community. Again, I'll say it like I've said it before, it's just a game. If you're not getting along, if you don't care for somebody, you don't like a personality, whatever, just make it game related. It doesn't need to be personal. I've seen some really vicious global chats recently. I've actually jumped and videoed some of those global chats. There's a few more craters on the map, not God's Cove. There's a few more craters on the map. There's actually some craters that are perma-banned. So, you know, it's a game, guys. If you want to trash talk or whatever, game related, keep it game related. Don't get into people's personal lives. Don't talk about their health. Don't talk about their family. Don't bring up their wives. Don't bring up their, you know, girlfriends or sisters or brothers or whatever. Just leave that stuff at the door.
Depending on where they're from, their girlfriend might be their sister.
Or their girlfriend might be a goat. But it's not Destiny.
Hey,
No. It wouldn't be a girlfriend. It would be his wife.
It might be my cousin, too.
I'm glad you mentioned City subscribers because I have an awesome April Fool's Day prank on City.
Oh, that'd be good. I definitely want to thank Dastry for coming on. I saw that it looks like, did Lonnie drop out? We missed Lonnie. I didn't even see that he was dropping out, so that's probably my fault because I had to get up for a minute, put wood on the fire. I want to thank the guys that I hang out with. I want a special shout out to my alliance, which isn't mine. It doesn't belong to anybody. Oh well, because sometimes in the game you're just like, oh well. And so for all of you guys who come and hang with us, for those of you who came and hung with us during Warpath, it was fucking awesome. For you guys who get into the Google Hangouts with us, whether it's in the middle of the day or late at night, thank you so much for making my sides hurt and me practically pissing myself laughing because I can't breathe.
You're welcome.
It's great to play and have fun again, to play 90% of the time and moderate 10% of the time, and actually be supported by Kixeye in doing that. So I want to thank Daba for being around. I want to thank Troy because he'll listen to the show later, who runs the wiki, for stepping up moderator-wise. Cybertoads had my back in forums a couple times recently. And it kind of just feels like everything's sort of like meshing together. You know, when you put all that personal shit aside and just play the game, I'm guilty like anybody else. I'm human. I make mistakes. I say things I don't mean to say. And I'm just going to say that out there publicly. If there's ever been a time I've ever said something that's been offensive to you or that's made you feel bad as a human being,
suck it up.
No, I'm not going to say that. That's what you would say. I'm going to say, as a human being from one to another, I wouldn't like it if you talk to me that way. So I would like to personally apologize to anybody I've ever offended. And if I've walked away or just said, you know, quietly just kind of moved on, it's not a slap in the face. It's not like I have any kind of vendetta or whatever. It's just time to move to another place in my life. That's all. And that includes the game. So, you know, we do what we do until we can't do it anymore. And then we move on to different things. I'm not saying move on with my life because everybody says, oh, that's an overused term. But I've been in lots of alliances. I've been in lots of groups. I've been solo, been all over the map for so many years. And I was about ready to give up the game. I've learned a lot of things from a lot of people. And I want to thank everyone that's ever shared anything with me that has benefited me as a player. But in the end, it's my account, and what I do with my account and who I choose to share my time with is my time. And so I'm going to share my time with the people that make me laugh and the people who give me the most amount of fun and enjoyment. Basically, as I say, the bang for the buck. So, you know, you guys go off and you find your bang for the buck, you know, find 2 bangs for $1. That's great. If you can get banged twice for $1, please let me know where you can get that. Some of that
if you can get banged twice for $1, you probably should get some higher standards.
Might need like a couple layers of condoms and maybe get some cream for that.
Okay.
Brown kill.
So thank you again, Brown Chicken Rackle. So thank you again to the panel. Thank you for letting me come back and hang with you guys. I'm not going to always be here.
Bullshit.
I'm not always going to be on the show. We're really looking for that extra producer for Saturday. Said he wants to be on the shows, but he doesn't want to be something regular. There was somebody on YouTube said, what about City? So please don't take that the wrong way. Anton's not going anywhere. we're just looking for some extra support for the Saturday shows. So
I can't do it this Saturday because I have a volleyball tournament, but every other Saturday.
Yeah. You always have something. It's either bowling or hockey or,
Bowling. I don't bowl.
Yeah, bowling, hockey, darts, fisting tournament, whatever. It's like whatever you're into, man.
Did you just say fisting tournament?
I slipped it in there. Come on, it's whoever has the biggest fist and they pump it in the air, right? Like Rocky, right? No, everybody knows exactly what I meant.
Well, since it'll never happen, and we're in the mood of having some fun, my April Fool's Day prank idea was to have everybody. No, it'll never happen because we cannot organize it, and that's have everybody who's subscribed to City unsubscribe to him for an hour. He'd wake up in the morning with 0 subscribers and be like, "What the fuck?"
That's just wrong.
It'd be hilarious, but you can't organize that. So
sure you can. I've done it.
And I know he's gonna listen to this, and I hope he laughs. And I expect a private message when I wake up in the morning.
I know. Too.
And a flat base.
Yeah, he calls me Skips. He's like, Skips, you're too much. So
I'm not too sure about the flat base part. Maybe 2-star base, but
that's fighting words there.
Yep.
Sadie, I love you.
All right.
Just real quick. Also, I don't want to name the names specifically because there were so many. But again, back to that there's human beings. Been playing the game for a long time, kickside games for a long time, and we've I don't want to say the word lost because if you believe as I believe, then I didn't lose them. I know exactly where they are. We have had some very long time players of the game pass away in the last couple weeks. And again, just to be in some of those sectors, Sector 80, Sector 101, Sector 61, geez, I'm trying to remember all of them. Just to see the level of support, friend or foes, when you jump in, Lady Warrior had to zoom out to, I don't know, 60%.
40%.
Yeah, 40% than it was, even more. And of course, at that point, you could barely even see the names. But yeah. I just want to say that it really warms my heart. Yes, I'm a female, but I don't give a flying fuck. That's what I am. I'm a man trapped in a woman's body, so I have both kinds of emotions. It's the best case scenario, by the way. To see that many people, regardless of whether or not you're friends or enemies, to come together and show support, take time out of your War Commander game to go move your base so you can park some tunes for a week or 3 days or 5 days or whatever, warms my heart. So just remember that there's somebody at the other end and they've got a lot of stuff on their plate. Sometimes the only reason why they play is because they have so much on their plate. They're playing just to hook up and have fun, to connect with you. And if they have something to say or they have something on their mind and they're hurting on the inside, put your game aside for a minute and send them a PM. Say, hey, I'm thinking about you, man. Hey, I heard about your son was sick, or hey, I heard your daughter was in the hospital, or hey, I heard your wife told me you weren't feeling too well. What is there anything I can do? Let's get together and hang out. Let's just talk and laugh and chat. Bring some humanity into it, but have fun in the game. Leave the game, and remember that there's a human being. And if the other person's not acting like a human being, move on to something else. Go find some other people to have fun with and have a good time with.
Flatten their base and ignore them. Makes them cry even harder.
That works too. But yeah, I'm not. I'm more the quiet type. Just lead gently and just kind of leave well enough and alone. So that's my thing. All right.
Yeah. 3 letters before just because of 3 letters before your name, the green, up to 5 letters, just because they don't match someone else's on the map. I don't mean to hate them as a person.
Nope. Yeah. All right. My final things. I want to make sure everybody gets subscribe to the channel and to the page. Get on that page. Hit up the poll that Slim Shady's got going for this Saturday's little raid, whatever you want to call it. So if you think it's a good idea and you want to join, get your name on there, get in contact. We'll set everything up to jump and get the tags, get the boosts, and enjoy a little fun. There's going to be no quarrels, no qualms. It's going to be a nice, normal attack thing. So if you've got a whole bunch of politics in your sector, you can get away from that for a few hours and just enjoy, an open invitation to have some fun attacks. I want to shout out and give great appreciation to Shadow Killer for showing up and lending some advice and getting a little more information and showing that he's still involved with this brand, with the show, and with the game. To fuck you, I want people to get out and support him. He's still got a lot of effort in his fight, so we're going to continue to support him in that too. Like Skip said, we're all humans on the other side of these screens, and we all have lives and families and problems and solutions. And if you can, be part of the solution for somebody else's problems. So that's the most important thing about humanity, is helping other humans. With that said, I appreciate everybody who's come out tonight and seen the show, and those that'll watch after the show's off the live air and goes into repeats. Like, subscribe, join us next time. Have a fucking wonderful
Side
evening.
chat Venom.
Okay, hold on. And big congratulations to Rim for their win on that awesome skin. Final word. Take it away, Skip.
I'm so sorry. It's not really a positive thing.
I wanted to quit. I've been on for 3 hours. I wanted to quit on the half hour.
And then Champ was talking about something else, and what he had to talk about was more important. The Sarkis. Your Sarkis is missing. It looks like it's missing in your workshop. It's just the icon that's missing. If you go to your workshop, not that anybody uses Sarkis, but
I was just gonna say, who gives a fuck?
And
then when you go in, your design is still there, and then if you click on it, you can still redesign it. You can still change it. Just the icon is missing. They know about it. It probably, I don't know if it's going to be one of those things that they can hot patch fix, and if it's not, please share it. Guys, if you're in the side YouTube chat, share it with your clans. Someone mentioned it in side chat again because they had asked it earlier and I didn't answer, so they ask it again. Share it with your clans. If it doesn't get fixed right away, it'll probably be fixed the next maintenance. We confirmed it's just a graphic issue. It's not. He's not actually gone. He's not missing, although some of us would like to have him gone. He's not missing.
Yeah, so this is what she's talking about. Here's your workshop.
Yeah.
And you can see the icon.
Great. And if you click on
his picture's not there. Yeah. Obviously, I still have my two schematics for him.
The pictures aren't there either, but he does exist, and I proved it. I was actually, I sacrificed myself, and I spent the Thor, and I actually equipped him with some tech to make sure that it was working. It worked. So he does work. So for any of you who do use Sarkis, it's just a visual bug. They'll fix it. Okay, that was it. Sorry.
All right. Well, again, like, subscribe, enjoy the rest of your evening. Catch you next time. We're War Commander Unshackled. We're out.